I don't think it's the Air Force, Marines, or cut and dry like that. They each unit have these special forces.
Hmm.
Each of the military have these special forces guys. Okay,
They treat
and
everybody the same, Deacon?
well, most for the most part, the Marines I think get preferential treatment. To
Oh,
me,
uh-huh.
that's just my opinion.
What do
But
you think?
each unit, the Army have Green Berets, and the Air Force have special forces, and they all have special. And these special forces, they're the ones that reap the special treatment.
Mm. So as a soldier versus ex-marine, you think that the Marines are given preferential treatment, Brother Ray?
I want to think so, and I'll tell you why. In my unit, we needed equipment for some time, and later on, we were told that we were getting new equipment, but it wasn't new equipment. It was actually equipment that came from the Marines. So you saw this, but here's the thing that we also have to realize: when you serve during peacetime, the units that are at the closer to what we call 100% readiness, those units always required the best equipment, and rightly so. And so my unit was more in the rear, so we never got the things or the equipment that we thought we should have gotten. Now, the time when my unit got brand new equipment, we went into training one morning, and we had everything brand new, and they corralled us in a particular area and started asking everyone, take out your ID. Is this your name, your rank, your social security number, your next of kin sign here? And we're all kind of wondering what's going on. And this was
You were not prepped in any way.
this was when the first Gulf War took place, and we started to realize that okay, something is up, and we got our orders that you're going to war. Then we got new equipment. What's the sense in giving you new equipment to train on when you're not going anywhere?
Yeah.
So it really depends, and like Deacon Claude said, those units that were prepped, even during peacetime, there were missions going on covertly. Those individuals needed to have the latest and the greatest in order to perform their mission at the best, and most importantly, come back alive.
Well, it's amazing. I can't believe that there will be biasness in the Marine or in the U.S. Air Force. I believe that every time I drove by a soup kitchen or at my own soup kitchen, and I see people, came back from the war, and they're treating like nobody. I felt bad. I felt bad. I felt real bad. And what do you think, Brother Moore? Do you think that it's time for the U.S. government, to pay attention to their veterans?
The drawback and the benefit, there are benefits and there are drawbacks, and there's one statement I think. We're in a capitalistic society, and because we're in a capitalistic society, money talks. And so I was listening to Deacon Claude talking as I was driving into the studio, and one thing dawned on me: there is money out there, because one thing to remember is war is profitable. It's huge. It's not something that we just expend money and lives and resources and then we have to regroup.
Their money is made.
People make billions.
Billions of money.
Companies make billions. So war is extremely profitable. And because of that, you think about the stockpile that has been out there for years. And so now you have a war, and the war is the opportunity to test whether your weapons that you've been built and stockpiling for years really do work, whether the soldiers that you've been training, whether the money you've invested in them really does work. Here's my point. If you spent that much money supporting them and stockpiling during peacetime, why aren't you able to do the same thing for them during wartime or when the war is over? So the funds are always there. It's a matter of, as Deacon said, prioritizing what is right and what is wrong. What's the sense in prioritizing a soldier who's damaged? You can't help me anymore. You can't fight anymore. You have very little value to me. You can't add value to my overall strategy of success and profitability. So you get pushed to the side. Yes, there are services. Of course, there are services out there. But an individual who doesn't know, who can't think straight, who's having the headaches, who's having the nightmares, who thinks everyone's after them, how do they go out and fill out papers in triplicates and sit there and wait and answer the right questions? And as Deacon Claude said earlier, everyone gets frustrated with them. The people who are supposed to help them aren't trained properly, including those in the VA. I've had a scenario where a friend of mine came back. He became an alcoholic. He was largely living in the streets, and I saw him in church and befriended him, and we started having a conversation, and he had injured his arm in a joint and was wearing a sling for years because it was never addressed. And when I called the VA, their thing was, well, he has to do this, and this, and this. Instead of it, even our civilian emergency rooms are better than the VA. Because if you have a dislocated elbow, you walk into an emergency room, you may sit there for 4 or 5 hours, but you're going to get service that day. With the VA, it's almost like you have to prove that you went to war. Now, someone living in the street, how do they prove that? And so, not wanting to deal with the system, they decide to just back away. Let me go live in the streets. Let me go back to my relatives. The relatives are not equipped to take care of you, to address your issues, especially the mental and the emotional issues. They're not equipped for that. They were never prepared. So what do? They push you aside. Like Deacon Claude says, they say, hey, you need to go get your act together. You need to go do this. You need to go do that. And so everyone deserts you. Now, if you ever deserted, the consequences for deserting are really horrible. We had one guy who deserted, and I was part of that team sent to go get him. And it's not nice when you go get a deserter. But when they desert you, then no one cares. The opposite happens.
The system is not balanced then in that case.
Is grossly imbalanced, Bishop. And far too often we see vets come back and they're not prepared. What they did there has no value here.
It's not. What do you suggest? What can be done? Deacon, this question is for you as well. What can be done, or what should be done differently? I mean, I find it hard to believe that the U.S. government don't. We make budget for the wilderness. We make budget for the forests. We make budget for so many things that. Zombie apocalypse. We make budget for, which they refer to it as alien invasion, etc. And we don't make budget for to honor our veterans, except one day for the year, Memorial Day. That is. Why?
Yeah.
What's up with that, Deke? Talk to me.
Bishop, when we was going to combat, when Desert Storm was ready for us, they said, look, we want to make sure you guys are prepared.
The psalmist David said in his words, sing praises unto God, sing praises. Sing praises with understanding, which tells me that when we sing unto the Lord, we're not just singing because it sounds good, because I can move my body, because the beat is just what I...
It's a big adjustment. But what I'm saying is, if you can take a veteran, or if you can take a serviceman and prepare him to go to combat, when he comes back from combat, how about having a area set up, or just an environment where he can actually go and work himself back into society, instead of just giving him a couple months pay and say, look, thank you for your service, man, be good, and because look, everything that we did over there, we don't look. I used to drive a rough terrain forklift. I lift up containers with this thing and take the containers from one location to another. What is there anything? Anybody out here driving rough terrain containers?
None.
I couldn't find none. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was proficient in. Now I could shoot real good, and I could throw the grenade. That's not out here either. You know what I'm saying? So it's an adjustment, and you have to, when you bring them back, if you prepare them, if you took them somewhere to prepare them for the combat environment, then why not when you bring them back when they're all done?
Detrain them back.
That's it. Detrain them now back and work them back into society so that they'll be productive members of society. You know, some of these guys, Bishop, you know, years ago, some of them were ones that were setting bombs and killing people, you know, because they was having flashbacks of when they was over there and getting shot at. You know what I mean? So you have to, it's an adjustment. I don't care what nobody say. It takes a period of time to adjust. Why not have some people, because there are specialists out there, and that's what they're trained to sit down and talk to you, listen to you, take you through these different problem-solving equations so you can learn.
What say you, brother? What say you with those budgetary questions? Because I think it comes back to that, no matter what you say.
No matter what you say, it comes back to money.
Yeah.
And I think Deacon Claude's going to agree with me on this one. The VA is well funded. The VA is not short in cash. They're well funded. But when you have senior people, or forget senior people, when you have the vast majority of the funding that goes to an organization being in salary, then all it is just a government agency. Instead of being light on employees, they're top heavy on all the people that work in the VA, and where one document could have been filled out and completed by one individual, it's done by 6 or 7 people to create
a whole chain of command.
Chain of command. It is absolutely ridiculous what happens.
It's a waste of money.
Waste is it's a burn of money. Waste is when you bought 2 shirts when you really needed one.
Right.
Burn is when 6 people decide to go on a conference and they go to Vegas to go sit in a fancy hotel to learn about something where all they had to do was sit with the veterans and talk with the veterans for a few minutes.
And they would learn. Yes.
And they will learn. So in that scenario, the waste happens at the very top. But if the individuals in government that are divvying out the budget would hold people accountable, then we would find ourselves in a situation where we are better able to address the needs of the vet when they come back into society. As you said earlier, Deacon, and a friend of mine joined the military after me, and when he joined, they had this thing in my unit. They invited civilians, and they were smart. They invited the civilians in on the day when we requalified. So we were throwing the grenades, we were shooting, we were doing all the Rambo stuff. And so these young guys got excited about that, thinking they're going to go do the same thing. And I remember sitting with one guy and I said, "You don't want to do this." And we had a conversation and I said to him, "Do you want to go to college?" He said, "No, I don't want to go to college. I'm not college material." And the truth is, Deacon, we have to recognize that not everyone is college material. Not everyone wants to go to college, and not everyone should go to college. So I asked him the question. I said, "What are you good at?" And as we talked, at the time we lived in New York, and I said, Con Edison is here, and they're always looking for generator mechanics. And so if you're able to do that, when you get back, you're going to have a great job. So in the military, we need power. So when you're out there, we have generator mechanics. And so that didn't seem nice to him. That wasn't nice enough. He wanted to go throw grenades and shoot and do all this crazy stuff.
Right.
And so I said to him, the best job you'll probably find when you get back is a security guard. I said, "You're not going to be qualified for anything unless you plan on staying there long term." Well, he didn't listen to me. He was one of those people. He became an assistant gunner. And you know what an assistant gunner is. You're the one pulling out that big round, throwing in that big round, and you're down there in the belly of that tank.
Yeah,
and when he came back, he served his 4 years, came back, whoever he left his money with took all his money, and the only job he could get was a security guard. So going back to address the original question, is how should we handle them when they get back? We should prepare veterans. Even the NFL has people who are training young players who are coming into a lot of money, how to budget, how to take care of their
doing that.
They start helping them.
Yes.
Because even at that level, guys will give their time and still end up in the streets. So what about the military, where you have people who are serving, and we're at the bottom of the food chain when it comes to earning. It's not like you join an army and because you're doing a very dangerous job, you get
you
rich.
don't get rich.
You may get what we call hazard pay, but your hazard pay isn't a whole lot. So if we don't determine as a country at the top to decide that it is time to start addressing the needs of our veterans. You know what? One of the things I noticed, Deacon, and we've seen this at church, and we're going to see this more as we come around to the 2020 elections. All these people that are running for public office, or the ones who are already in public office and are looking to be reelected, one of the first things they do is talk about how patriotic they are, how much they support the vets, and it's in words only. Once someone says, I'm a patriot, and when someone says, I support the vets, but a lot of those politicians, Deacon, a lot of them, their children will never serve in the military. They have enough sense not to do that. You go look in Congress, ask yourself how many, and do the research. And of the hundreds of them between the Senate and the Congress, how many of them actually have children who are serving or who serve? Very few of them. Their kids go to Ivy League school and they stay away from that nonsense because they know, even those who are in Congress who are vets, they know the dangers, Deacon. They know the dangers of when you get back. First of all, the danger of never coming back. And the reorienting into society, how long and difficult that process can be, and some people just never recover. And oftentimes, I've heard of stories where it weren't the people. It's not just the people who are on the front line, Deacon. Sometimes it's the people who are in the back. And they're the rear support, and they see the injuries come in, and they see the dead come in, and they see the suffering, and they see the pain, and it affects them. It impacts them.
And that's what, one of the units that I was in, we was right behind with the gun shooting 101st.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they go in, they have surgical and precision hits. They go in, they bam, 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 and they burn up and hit a city or hit a town. And then we have to come in now and we get to see, the arms over here, the legs over here. So, of course, we're the ones that now, mostly when we get back, are going to need some kind of help from, being able to decompress ourselves from that environment that we was over there. So like you were right, the support people are mostly the ones that's out here that's suffering, on the streets, on the corners. Like I said, man, I know that you keep saying money, and I understand, but this country we're living in is not the poorest country in the world.
It isn't.
I know we're not talking about, place nobody who ain't got no money. We have money. And I really do believe one of the main things is just, waking up one day and saying, you know what, we got to start doing for the veterans.
We have to
start doing for them. We got to get them off the streets. We got to get them in an environment where they can actually help one another, because I found out, excuse me, that's one of the biggest help to me anyway, was being able to talk to, hang out with, just associate with other veterans. It don't have to be a war veteran. If you're a veteran, in the military or something like that, and you hang out with another veteran, you are able to, you know, encourage him and he encouraged you. So I found out that that's one of the, I don't know if they're trying that, but sometimes when I be sitting in the VA in those long hours that I'm waiting for medical attention just to see a doctor, sometimes you wait 2-3 hours. But uh, well, it, you might meet a veteran and you and him get to converse about this. Oh yeah, I was over so and so, and just that hour or so of bonding, it just makes you look different and feel different about the situation that was going on over there. So yeah, it's just maybe it's the way they're approaching it. I don't know if they have it on the rap set as far as how they should try to treat veterans. I know you said that a veteran coming back with PTSD or something like that, some kind of ailment or one arm or one leg, really, what kind of help can he be? But it's when he signed the dotted line to go into the military, he was 100%. He was himself, and now he is back. PTSD, whatever he might be suffering. You should feel a little bit responsible for helping him to readjust to society.
And that's the crux of the matter there, Deacon. No responsibility. No one
Right.
wants
No.
to take responsibility
Right.
for the after effects of war. No one really wants to step up and say, okay, so it cost us, let's say $1 million to train this individual, to get them combat ready, and to support them 4 years prior to service in a war situation. However, now that they're back, it's going to cost us $2 million. See, the benefits of spending that $2 million doesn't pay off back to the people who invested the original million. So there's no sense being in a capitalistic society. There's no sense in investing in that person. Deacon, there's an individual that I associate with, and when I first befriended him, I didn't even know he was military. It was after talking I realized there were some similarities in our stories, and I said, have you served? And he said, yeah, I was in Afghanistan. I was in Desert Storm. I'm like, aren't you a little young for that? And he started out right out of high school.
Right.
Jewish guy. And if you see this guy, you wouldn't even believe. Jewish guy with dreads, like he just came out of Jamaica,
Right.
and tattooed everywhere, and so much turmoil going on. He told me his wife was trained for crisis management, because there are times when he just goes blank, absolutely blank,
And Pastor Moore, that's what we were talking about, family.
mm-hmm.
Look, man, family is basically the key. You have to, because I'm telling you, sometimes you actually get in a place where, you have to have someone who really cares about you, that recognize that you're in that place and can say, hey, it's okay, and let's hug you and bring you back, because and people who haven't been there, who haven't been to combat, would never understand that. What I mean? You could say what you want to say, but you will never understand that. And I'm just saying today, that I'm not bashing going into the military, because I'm telling you, I had a real good time while I was in there. I had fun, and I was in there 6 years before combat started, so I had a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? But when the ball was dropped, went up, and they said it was time to go to combat, then we understood now it's time to earn your pay. So all the things that we were training for all these years, they decided that they wanted to see were we receiving it, and it's going to always be wars. It's going to always be wars, because this guy I was talking to that was in the government, he was telling me, look, there are always going to be wars, simply because of the fact that the government makes so much money. there are entities and individuals who, or I should say, corporations and countries that make so much money off of wars that they're going to always be a war. Okay, so it's just a matter of when we come back from the war.
I,
We're
as I
not
as I
saying
said as I said earlier, Deacon, war is profitable,
right. So we're
and
not saying try to, do anything else about stopping the war because that's impossible because it's going to always be one. But when we come back, create a system to look into the helping and the readjusting these veterans that come back and they might have this or they might have that and help them for a period of time.
Mhm.
Maybe a year, at least a year, to say, look, okay, we're gonna get with your specialist, or we're gonna get with your sergeant, and make sure that you're fit, so you can go back into society. Even help you with a job, because the government has got, like you said, with the VA, it's a chain of command thing up there. One piece of paper takes a week or two to get through the channels, because John has to sign it, Sue has to sign it, Dr. Smith have to sign it, and it just keep going. So get this guy a job or help him to adjust by, bringing him slowly back into. I believe you owe them. You owe us that much. I really do.
Absolutely,
Based
absolutely.
on what I've gone through while I was over there and the bullets was flying, I believe that we are owed that much. And that's, people might say, oh, you know, nobody. Yeah, I believe we're owed that much for real, real.
I think the drawback to it is the contract. Once you sign a contract,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the contract, you fulfilled your part
Ooh,
of the
Jesus.
bargain, and they fulfilled their side. They
That's
said,
it.
as you said earlier, goodbye, thank you for your service, and they're gone, and so you're now left to deal with whatever the consequences are. And by the way, they're dealing also with the after effects of the war. The after effects is they made a lot of money, and because they knew what they were bargaining for
Right.
when they decided to enter into that contract with you for you to go to war, you didn't know what you were bargaining for. And here's another part of it. Many people who get back will never be fully reoriented into society.
Never.
And so there needs to be a strategy, a structure for long-term care and support of those individuals. It's
They
just
owe
not
us that,
there.
Pastor. They owe us that.
They do, but it's just not there. And we can say all we want to say about the VA. I went to the VA once just to get a ID, and
You say once.
once, yes, I only went to the VA once, the one on commercial. I
Yeah,
went there. I took off from work, and I went there, and I sat there for the longest time just to
yeah.
fill out the first paperwork. And when
Yeah,
I
it's like
found
two,
out
3 hours.
what the process was going to be just to get an ID, I said, that's
Right.
okay. I'm fine. And I left. It's not worth it. To me, it wasn't worth it. So can you imagine all the other guys who are dealing with all kinds of mental and emotional issues?
Really sick folks
Yeah,
that
yeah,
really need some
exactly.
immediate attention.
Exactly. And what they have to deal with. And the people who dealt with me, they weren't nice.
Right.
They
They're
were
never
not nice
nice.
people. So I walked away and I thought to myself, you know something, I don't need this. I didn't realize it was that bad, and I walked away. And so I may be, you and I may be the part of the fortunate ones. I
Yeah,
have
lucky.
yeah,
Jesus.
I have a cousin who served also, and I remember. And this is a little bit hilarious here. When I got my orders that we were going to the first Gulf War, and I called him up. We were told, go home, sit by the phone, don't do anything, and I called him up. He wasn't home, and I was told that he was already someplace out in California getting ready to be shipped out, and
Right.
my uncle at the time was literally having diarrhea because his one son is gonna
Was
go to
gone.
war and his one son's gonna get killed, and likewise my mom was having some of the same issues, and I remember kind of laughing. It wasn't, but I was thinking to myself, and I even said to my mom, so all these years, what do you think I was doing? They weren't training me to have Bible study.
Right.
We were being trained to kill or be killed. What do you
Right.
think? When you told me I needed to sign up, what do you think we were doing there? No, but you can't do that. And I said, listen, no one wants to go to war, but if we have to, we do go to war. And when we do go to war, hopefully when we were not in a war situation, we were being properly prepared and we paid attention, because
Right.
that attention that you pay is what's going to save your life. And
You know, just to drop something hilarious here too, Pastor Moore. You know, when I remember, I never forget when the first time we got hit with gas. You got 9 seconds to put your mask. and
exactly
15. So we had the whole suit. We got the call to put the whole suit on. Now that's supposed to be a 15-second thing. You know what I'm saying? So I had some soldiers with me because I was like a platoon sergeant, assistant platoon sergeant. So I had some soldiers with me, and I had some of the soldiers that were a little hard-headed. They really wasn't the ones that listened to you when you was training and said, "Oh, Sarge, I got that. I know how to do that." So when the ball went off and we were, man, I was. It wasn't funny then because they could have got killed, but it was hilarious because now that I look back at it, because they were so busy trying to put their pants in their shoulders, and everybody else had put on this stuff, and then we were sitting there watching them. Now we had to try to help these guys put the shirt on to your shoulder. You know what I mean? Because they were busy trying to they was in such a rush now trying to get it. They got the wrong pieces out the bag and putting their pants over their head and all of that. I'm like, look at these guys. So it was that the monotonous training helped you a lot because you were able to do that stuff almost blindfolded. But some people just didn't pay attention to it, and they got caught, and thank God we were able to help them, because that stuff over there was real gas, it was real bullets, it was real everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I even got one time I went someplace to move a unit. This is doing combat. I went to move a unit, and when I got to the spot to move the unit, I moved the unit, because I told you I drove that big forklift, the rough terrain forklift. When I came back to where my old unit was, guess what? They had got a call to lift up and move.
Oh, wow.
And I was stuck out there now in the desert by myself. Of course, me being training, and I'm looking to make it back to the States in one piece. So, look, if a fly had flew by, I would have shot that thing out the sky. You hear me? So I was definitely on edge for a couple of days until I was able to get back with another unit. So they left because they got the call and they couldn't wait because it's combat. When you get the call, you got to move.
You got to move.
So. Right. And they got the call, they moved, and it wasn't until about another 3 months, 2 months before I caught up with these guys out there in the desert, But God was good to me because even then, He was protecting me for a time as this.
You realize, do you realize how quickly we get religious when we find ourselves in a situation? You realize
I told Bishop, we was having prayer meeting out there. We was doing
people start listening. Remember that little green? Was it the little green Gideon New Testament that we all got issued?
No, we all had those.
Yeah,
that was issue. Yeah.
You realize how quickly we can pull that out, and all of a sudden, for God so loved the world that He gave. You realize how quickly that becomes valuable and important, and all of a sudden you start to see the insight, because at that point all you're doing is searching for that one scripture that God said He will protect you, that one scripture that you can hold on to. And I've seen guys in situations where they prayed to Jehovah God, they prayed to Jesus, they prayed to Allah, they prayed to Muhammad, and they're hoping
to everybody.
Pray to everybody, because one of them is gonna listen, and hopefully the real one will save me. And have you ever seen the promises that people make, or the commitments like, God, if you get me out of this, here's what I'm going to do. So they know he's real. And so transitioning just a little bit, when you think about present day, the spiritual warfare that is going on around us, it's happening. It may not be bullets flying, it may not be bombs dropping, but lives are at stake right now, whether we believe it or not. Lives are at stake, and we are not the church that should be equipped for things like these. Far from equipped to helping even the vets that are coming back. Instead, we send them to counseling. I was in a men's fellowship a couple of years back, and there was one individual who stood up and he was pretty transparent. And Deacon, he said he was married and having some issues with pornography and just struggling in the marriage, and they were very close to signing the papers and just going their separate ways after so many years of marriage. And one senior leader stood up and said, well, if you're having issues with drugs, call this number, Broward County, and if you're having this particular issue with mental issues, or if you're back from the military, or if you're having PTSD, call here if you need counseling or you need therapy. Now, keep in mind, let me say this for a listening audience. I am in no way, shape, or form suggesting that we should never go to counseling, that we shouldn't seek professional help, medical help. I am not suggesting that at all. But when you sit in a church where we've been saying for decades and that the Bible, the church has the answers. Here we are saying Jesus heals, Jesus restores. If you have this, here's what the Word of God says: by faith you're healed in Christ Jesus. And then here's a leader now ignoring all of what we've taught and say, hey, go to the world can help you. I almost erupted in that meeting. I couldn't believe someone was saying that. So it's no different than you now being in the military, being trained to do your job, and then when something happens to someone and they're hurting, you tell them, by the way, the military is never equipped, and the people who sent you here are not equipped to help you. Go seek help elsewhere. You see how silly that seems, and how almost hypocritical that seems? Well, it's the same thing we do in the church. Same thing.
It's not silly, to me it's awful.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible thing. I'm saying? You got to have a leader who, when you go to him with an issue, or when you stand up in a men's thing in an issue, he could say, you know what? Come see me. We'll pray about it. We'll talk to God about it. Because at the end of the day, if you're in a church, we, like you said, for a century, they've been saying God is going to do this. And I believe it, man. I believe it. Mm-hmm. So now you got to get to that point as a soldier, in God's army, because that's one thing I always tell people when I'm out there, and I might be talking about my lifestyle, and I might be trying to, talk to someone about, coming on this side, trying to evangelize a little bit. Sometimes I tell them, I go a little deep, and I tell them about me switching from one.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
Oh, they play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Linkage Radio, come to rule. And we have the angle, the tackle, and we have the tool. Yeah, man, Sanchez, I keep it locked. Linkage.
Looking for a venue with lots of amenities at reasonable cost? Well, look no further. Lux V Event Venue Rental is your to-go place for all your special occasions. Conveniently and centrally located, we service the Bronx, Westchester, and NYC metro areas. Our all-white canvas features 3,200 square feet, available for your next private event. Come and host your baby showers, bridal showers, baptisms, birthday parties, conferences, christening, dinner parties, grad parties, sweet 16, repasts, weddings and wedding receptions, plus much more. Book now. Dates are filling up fast. Come and see for yourself. Visit us at 58 Grammaton Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. Call or text 914-233-7881 or 631-796-7319 with inquiries. Ask about our weekend brunch hour specials at reduced cost. Lux V Events, an inspiring social experience. See you soon.
For affordable immigration consultation, all paperwork, a green card, citizenship, work visas, asylum waivers, naturalization, or fiancé visas, you can call Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. That's Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. You may also contact her at shaysims@gmail.com. That's SHAYSIMMS@gmail.com. She's an immigration consultant and she can help you through all your paperwork.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Call and place your order at 914-863-0188 or 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. Check out our menu. We have curry goat, curry chicken, fried chicken, brown stew chicken, jerk and stew pork, stew peas, oxtail, brown stew fish, $12 and upwards. Goes by order. Steamed fish, $12 and upwards. Also goes by order. Steamed vegetables. All meals come with white rice or rice and peas with vegetable. Check out the soup menu. We have chicken soup, red pea soup, seafood soup, goat head soup at CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Big up the top chef Conroy and his wife. Big up the two grill masters, Courtney and Ron. So remember to check out CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions.
New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699-1349. We also do delivery from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have the most Jamaican flavors: grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and razor, Jamaican rum and razor, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stout ice cream cake, peach grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door. When you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, roast fish, fried fish, and roast corn, contact me at 914-699-0145. Also check out our juice bar with our smoothies, boosters, mash, and therapy juices. 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Ice cream, jerk chicken, roast fish and corn, and over them gone.
Hello, I am Karith Mayer, owner and founder of the Dumpling Cove restaurant, formerly known as the Dumpling Shop. You might not know me, but I've been running this business for the past 2 decades. Over the years, we have been serving this community with the best dumplings and fried fish, and despite ups and downs, we are still dubbed the Dumpling King because no one has served more dumpling than us. In 2013, we moved to our present location, 1530 East 222nd Street, Bronx, New York. Many people ask me, why did you change the name to the Dumpling Cove? In 2016, we went through management reorganization, and my vision for the business and customers was now possible. We renovated the dining room, expanded our menu, and now have full sit-down fine dining. Have your special parties, listen to live entertainment, or have us cater all your occasions. parking is available. The Dumpling Cove was voted #1 Caribbean restaurant in the Bronx and featured on Bronx 12 News. Come in for a great dining experience or to have a drink. I want to thank you for your continued support. See you at the Dumpling Cove.
Pass me a flask, let me tell the things them. People never know the rum talk and me a sing them. Ali Brand the rum boss I represent. Remember Dilsham, Butcher's Wine and Spirit Inc. Of all of the alcoholic beverages you need. From a pink to a anchor. Moscato, Merlot, Hennessy, Douce, Tiger Bone, Ginseng, Rare Nephew Rum, Appleton, Myers Rum, Stone Ginger Wine, Red Label, Taylor Port, Fairbanks, Mount Gay, Sangster, Rum Bar, Jamaica Brandy, Syrah, Grey Goose, Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker and more. You drinking or joking? Open hours. Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Address 104 South 4th Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. It makes sense to save you dollars. Contact 914-699-7267. Email us at DutchessWineExpert@gmail.com. Must be 21 and over to drink. 40 minimum delivery. Drink responsibly.
You're locked on to the #1 radio station. Number one radio station.
Oh, they play the best music.
#1. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Prayer, and you do it over and over and over, and you get yourself to a point where you are 100% ready, or as close to it as you can. Then when that enemy comes, you're prepared. When you got stuck out there in the desert, you didn't panic and have a meltdown.
No, the training.
Exactly. Training kicked in. Now, what happens in the church when the enemy attacks? You know what most people do? They call Deacon Claude, I need prayer. They call Bishop, I need prayer. They're not prepared, and largely in part their fault, because they never allowed themselves to stay in the environment where they can get trained and prepared. See, in the army understands how training works. They make you stay, and you sign a contract that you're going to stay, you're going to focus, and they tell you what your job's going to be. In the church, it's voluntary. You have a choice. And so it seems like the army that is not the volunteer, it's you volunteer to get in, but once you get in, they own you. And so they tell you when to go to sleep, they tell you when to wake up, they tell you what to eat, then they tell you everything in between. In the church, you have the choice to do or not to do. Your decision. And so if you don't follow what is being taught, then your family, your lunch is going to get eaten by the enemy every single day, because you're lost.
That's what's happening.
Exactly. That's what's happening. We're clueless as to how we should react or how we should prepare for this enemy that's destroying everything. So now when the vets come back, we don't even know how to deal with them.
Don't know how to deal with them.
Know how to deal with them, because the church has not been preparing. The church has not been engaged in the monotonous training. So when the war comes, then the church can say, here we go. We're ready. Let the training kick in. It's not the time for panic. Let the training kick in. Instead, what we do is we call the bishop and we call the pastor. We need prayer because everyone's panicking, instead of resorting to the training that the bishop has been given for quite some time. And that's where we have a problem. And that's where we need to address the issue, because if we leave it only to the government, it'll
never happen.
It's never going to happen. The church sits back, and we can criticize, we can condemn, we can complain, the 3 C's, but we don't play a part in resolving the issue, and that needs to happen.
And you know what, Pastor? You know, the church has a serious mandate. You know, church is supposed to be community, so you know it's about taking care of your community. You know, around here, it's one almost on every block. You know, I don't know if you ever ride down some of these streets, but you can point out a church just about on every block. So my thing is, if you have people who are homeless veterans, and you know, you don't think that you're not responsible for them. okay, I didn't send them to war. They ain't. No, you are a community-based entity. You got to, grab that and take that as part of something. Feed them. Make sure they give them some clothes and even train them a little bit. Bring them in and train them.
Praise God. One moment, Deacon. I believe we have Pastor Johnny that would like to join in on the conversation, if I'm seeing correctly. Pastor Johnny, are you there?
Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, man of God. How do you do? How do you do today?
I'm blessed, Bishop. Blessed and highly favored this morning. I just want to say good morning to the servicemen this morning.
Indeed.
Morning.
Thank you.
Deacon Claude, I'm here listening, and they let me call in and say good morning to you guys,
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it really depositing a lot in my spirit concerning natural things and spiritual, kind of different way, And I just want to tell you guys, thanks for your service, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor.
We thank you so much, and it's always a good thing when people appreciate the service, and to be honest, when we joined, we never joined with the expectation that people were going to appreciate us. We joined because everybody has their own motive for joining, but when you come back and you are recognized and appreciated by people, that does have some value, and so we appreciate that, and thank you for that.
Yeah, because when I came back, it was a big old parade, and we had everybody on the street. They shut down the streets, and everybody was happy to see us, and that's what I'm saying. You bring a guy back like that, you give him this pomp and this parade and all of this stuff, and then right after that, you just say, ta-ta,
Bye.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your life. Now that you have to try to come out here and adjust, all you was doing was shooting and killing people over there. You was throwing grenades and stuff. That's really not a job title out here. You know what I'm saying? So now you're out here trying to say, well, maybe I'll be a security guard or something. I can shoot real good, so
Well, at the rate it's going, and as you mentioned earlier, with all the shootings and the schools, and at the rate it's going, you may be able to add some value down the road, because they're looking for people like you. So physically, yes.
No, it is real.
It's a real world out there.
The fact that you guys go out there and experience it firsthand, we need people like you in the kingdom, cause
that's the key. That's the key right there.
Situation that are arise, and it is good that you and Deacon Claude really have that experience, out there on the battlefield, and can bring that same kind of, because it's not much different. You understand? But when you check it, if
One moment, Pastor John. We have another caller. Praise the Lord, caller. How are you?
Praise the Lord. How you doing? This is Pastor Washington from Jamaica. How you doing?
Oh, the Lord bless you, Pastor Washington. The Lord bless you. All is well?
All is well.
Yes, sir. All is well. Happy Memorial Day to you. We're celebrating Memorial Day here in the States today. Yes.
Bless God.
And how are you doing in JA, brother?
Well, I'm hanging on by faith.
Yes. Good to hear your voice, man. How's your family?
Everybody okay, so good so far.
Wow. Good to hear your voice today, my brother. Good to hear your voice today, man.
I always text you on the program when I don't get a response.
Well, today you're calling, man. So, I mean, yeah, sometimes the responding is overwhelming, so many, but I'm glad you get a chance to call in today,
The program has been tremendous.
Amen. It has been. Please hold the line for me, man of God, all the way from Jamaica. Please hold the line. Praise the Lord, caller. How do you do today? Welcome.
Good morning. I'm listening to your program, and it's like I'm having some bad, reflect.
Oh, you are?
Sympathy goes out to those guys there.
Okay,
Sympathy, I have a lot of sympathy for them. But I can tell you from experience, my dad, he was the best boy in the district. Everybody lived like one family. He went to RAF, Royal Air Force, and came back. Everything changed. Everything changed. But he was lucky because he had the support. Everybody in the district is a family member. He went to RAF and they trained him and sent him to the Royal Air Force. And every day it's like he remember these things. Sometimes he said when he shot a plane and it spin off Royal Air Force, it's same type of plane. And war again, people make a lot of money. People make a lot of money. And what I do not like, America sell their enemies weapons. A lot of people should know that. America sell weapons to their enemies. Plus, they have a lot of tankers, the planes that refuel planes.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them laying down doing nothing. Nothing.
I never really get the understanding of America selling their enemies weapons that they're gonna turn back on them. I never really, I never ever get that. I really will never ever get that idea. I know that a lot of people became wealthy as a result of war. They make money from it, but you're harmonizing the same individuals that's gonna take that same gun you sold them and shoot back at your own soldiers.
That's why I say it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
And people are suffering and cannot get help.
Yeah.
And these people that work in those offices that you have to go to, they need to be trained properly how to deal with people.
What do you think about that, Brother Moore and Deacon?
So here.
I think he's referring to the veteran hospital. Is that what you're referring to, Dr. Francis?
Not only there alone, all over the place. Even ordinary place you go, they do not know what they are doing. They just know the computer and things like that, but they don't know what they are doing. When you are telling them one thing, they are telling you another thing that they know, and they do not know what you are telling them about. Like, certain time people go to the hospital, even in Jamaica, with a serious problem. They just ignore you. Unless you get a gunshot now, then they pay attention. A man getting a heart attack. That's why, okay, this is what I want to say. All those vets, if you feel like you want to go to the hospital, call 911. When you call 911, they pay attention to you. Do not go there by yourself. You spend the whole day. Okay?
And I think that's part of the problem. The infrastructure is not equipped to recognize mental issues, emotional issues. And to your point, you're saying they can easily recognize and respond and treat a heart attack or a gunshot wound. But when someone comes in with a mental issue, an emotional issue, PTSD, they weren't trained, they're not equipped to handle that. And a lot of people, Deacon was saying earlier, people will tell you, man, get over it. And that's really their way of saying, I don't understand what you're going through and I can't help you. But they're not going to tell you that. They're going to turn it around and try to make it look like it's your fault. It's your responsibility, and you simply need to grow up. But I understand your point. And to your point, a lot of equipment. Here's one of the things, the double-edged part about the society we live in. I'm not saying this is right, but you hear people say all the time, might equals right. So if I'm bigger than you and I'm stronger than you and I'm mightier than you, then my right is more right than your right. If you go back to biblical days, if you were unprepared and you were unprotected, then you leave yourself open for the enemy to come in. And when the enemy came in back then, they killed everybody. They didn't just
burn the whole city.
The whole city and took everything. So you see, back then people understood warfare. In our society today, we've become very relaxed. We've become lazy. We don't understand warfare and that there really is a spiritual and a physical enemy out there trying to eat our lunch. There are people out there who detest our way of life. The fact that we can sit here and we're not criticizing our government. We're making observation about our personal experience, about what happened and what didn't happen. In some countries, you can't do this.
Yeah.
You and I would have been locked up already, and Deacon Claude would
the
be
sheriff
off
would
the air.
be at the door already.
We would be locked up already in some countries. We're not allowed to say this, but the people who went ahead and died so that the freedom that we enjoy, we can continue
That's
to
a part of it, isn't it?
That's a part of it.
Yeah.
The drawback is when those people who gave sacrificially, sometimes up to death, so that we can enjoy this, we don't recognize them, we don't honor them, and
we do just one time for the year.
Oh Lord, have mercy!
Memorial Day, just one time
you talk
for the
to
day.
the average person on the street. You know what Memorial Day is? Memorial Day is barbecue.
Even today, they are planting a lot of flags in the burial ground. I think they should find those vets and give them those money, help them. Because when you buy those flags, you're not pay the rich people to make them. You don't get them free. That money could go towards the vets who are suffering today.
And I believe that is a tremendous idea, Dr. Francis, because we were talking about earlier today about the infrastructure. If the finances are there, the funds are there, and Deacon alluded to this, that when you come out of the military, what they did, they give you a couple months' pay if you have not exercised the terms to get to the point where you can retire from the military. They give you a couple months' pay, pat you on the shoulder, and say thank you for your time and service. But now you're mentioning those finance that they invest in putting flags on Memorial Day. They're better off to giving it to the vets. It's a fact. What do you think, man?
I want to add one thing, and sometimes we have to ensure we stay away from error when we're talking. The federal government is the largest purchaser in America. Obviously, because there's not just the military. Military is just one part of the federal government. So, one of the things that I know from experience is the federal government has what's called set-aside funds, and those set-aside funds can only be accessed by veterans or special agencies. So, if you're a veteran out there and you want to start a business and you qualify based on the federal guidelines, there are set-aside funds. For example, this flag thing, it's actually a company that's owned by a veteran. You as a civilian, you can't go in and buy flags. Now, you have a manufacturer, but even then the manufacturer can't sell those flags to Arlington Cemetery. Everything comes through a veteran. So there's a business opportunity out there. If you're a veteran, you go look for the thing that the federal government is saying we want to buy. You go out, you source that thing, you bid correctly. They will tell you that no one can do it. So let me give you an example. The federal government wants studio equipment. You're very capable of going out and sourcing studio equipment. And so you see the bid and you think, hey, I can bid for that. I can get the studio equipment, sell it to them and make some money. But the federal government says that's a set aside for veterans only. So it doesn't matter how much you try, Bishop, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter even if you get it cheaper than me. They're not going to give it to you because you're not a veteran. So there are some opportunities out there, and the flag issue is one of them.
Well, here is what I am saying, Brother Moore. If the federal government have set aside a certain allotted amount of finances for veterans, correct? I am saying, and I believe most of the listeners would agree with this saying, if I have to, as someone who served in the military, we talk about the various legs of the military, not only the Army, not only a soldier, but we're talking about the Marine, the Air Force, all of them, the entire
Marines,
the entire legs of the security of America. I believe if a veteran will open a flag company, and you have to go and funds are set aside, and the highest bidder will win a contract to get some of that funds that is set aside. I am saying, especially on Memorial Day, I agree with Dr. Francis instead of taking that $1 to give to make one veteran more wealthy, and 99% of veterans out there could use that $1, I believe that that's set aside money. Nobody needs to go and bid for it. But I'm saying this is the way it is. But because the way it is don't necessarily mean that it's right.
That's correct.
Okay. So I am saying, I am agreeing with what Dr. Francis is saying from New York, that you're better off taking that $1 and send $1 each to each one of these vets. Make them go and buy a piece of ribs and go barbecue it on Veteran Day. You're better off than giving them a flag. You know, you see that. They invite them in when they have these PBS, CNBC, all of these non-military and military organization are doing different types of propaganda, so to speak. And they get a few veterans and they put on the uniform and they sat there for the duration of that program and talk how much they appreciate them. But most of these people go back right into homelessness, depression, and they don't care about them. I'm saying if the federal government have money set aside, I believe that they need to take care of the veterans. Especially, they need to take care of them. Instead of 10 guys who came back who are ingenious in their thinking and their philosophy, how to get the money that is set aside. I believe that there ought to be a better infrastructure. Deacon, what say you? Wouldn't you prefer to get that $1?
Look, Bishop. You see the little flag thing the way you're talking about?
Yeah.
That is propaganda, right?
I believe it is.
They want to take pictures and show everybody, oh, yeah, we're bigging up the veterans. You're sticking a flag in the ground. And you got 1 million veterans out here on the ground, you know, just eating off the ground, eating out the garbage can. And you decide that the money that you're going to spend, though.
You're going to spend it this way.
Right. Remember, we talk about priority. They don't have no priority.
I think that Dr. Francis is right. You know, instead of getting a flag, that flag may cost us maybe $5 in China each.
Exactly.
You know
what I mean? But we decide that's our priority is to stick a flag so we could take pictures and make the world see that. Well, they're not seeing the ones that's sitting on eating out the garbage can, eating out the cans. You know what I'm saying? When they come back, that's my thing. You have this money set aside.
Yeah.
How about detraining them like how they trained us to go to combat? You know, because we all went to California in the sand so we could get prepared to go to Iraq. Okay, they trained us.
So have a detraining program as well.
When we come
with
back,
some benefits.
Exactly. Detrain us at least for a year, help the man to readjust to society.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Because some people, like Pastor Moore said earlier, they'll never come back all the way. But you can recognize those people and give them the appropriate training. But most people, if you just give them a hand for a minute, they can get back on their feet and get their senses back and be A-OK.
I have my qualms with the idea. When we were in Oakland Park, Brother Moore, we do every Memorial Day, we do a feeding program. And mostly the people who attend that is veterans, homeless, they're on drugs. We're not making excuses for them. You know what I mean? But Deacon mentioned something today that will always stood out in my mind. It says that the families of veterans, when they return from war, they give up on them too soon.
Too soon, Bishop, too soon.
Now, with that being said, family giving up on you, they gave up on you too soon, too quickly, too expeditiously. Then the government have money that they allocated, set aside, but you need to have a business plan now to get it. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a secondary portion, but they have to be a primary goal, how to take care of these men who serve, these women who serve in the military. And for those who don't reach the age of retirement and you just pat them on the shoulder and send them out into the street. I heard Deacon say something this morning again that stood out in my mind also. It said, for example, whatever occupation that you have done in the military, you better, and I heard you say that too, Brother Moore, you better make sure that you get the right occupation that when you return to the
on your track. Hold on a little longer. The race is hard to run. If you hold on a little longer, your change is gonna come. I started with Jesus.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Health Talk Magazine. I'm Dr. J.L. Johnson, your host and your licensed nutritional doctor. And you can call me right now toll free from anywhere in the country by dialing 1-800-603-4460. That's 1-800-603-4460. Or you can call me personally by dialing 305-778-0970. That's 305-778-0970. And for those of you out there who don't know me, I'm Dr. J.L. Johnson. I'm a licensed nutritional herbal doctor, licensed by the Board of Medicine. Also, I'm a master herbalist, trained in most of the herbologies in Chinese, Japanese, American, and also, my friend, with a PhD in nutrition and with over 40 years experience. I said 40 years experience for helping people all across this country and the many other countries out there where we do business. Also, I want you to know that I'm one of the world's leading herbal nutritional doctors and that our company, the Aloe Man Incorporated, is also the largest African-American-owned health product company and health product company of its kind anywhere in the world. We have over 1,000 herbal formulations in order to help you with just about any kind of problem that you might have. It doesn't matter what it is, whether or not they call it AIDS or cancer, MS or epilepsy, or whether or not you have high blood, high sugar, high cholesterol, poor circulation, or even if your feet hurt. You can use God's herbs in order to help your body to heal itself. So pick up your phone right now and give us a call. The number again is toll free. It's 1-800-603-4460. Or call me personally at 305-778-0970. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have disassociated ourselves with Aloe Man Ventures, my son and my son's company. We are not responsible for what you buy from them. So make sure that you call the Aloe Man Incorporated. They have no right to sell the Aloe Man's products nor represent the Aloe Man's products. So we want everybody out there to be aware of that. Now, let's get into today's show. We're going to talk today to the men. Yes, strictly to the men. Men, if you're a man over 50, you've probably been encouraged to undergo regular screening for prostate cancer. This involves a doctor's examining your prostate, a digital rectal exam. In fact, there's 3 exams that they want men to take after they're 50 years old. Rectal exam, then they want you to take a PSA test, and then it can get serious after that, where they may want you to take a biopsy to stick a needle in your prostate. Well, did you know that 25 different health organizations around the world, see, the Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Well, today I want to give you some knowledge, and you need to get a hold of it. Many of you men out there who's still lagging around and have not gotten a hold of this information, you need to get a hold of this information that I'm telling you right now. Over 25 major health organizations around the world have said that these tests are inaccurate tests. Did you hear what I said? They are inaccurate tests. For a test to be accurate, it must not lead to any dangerous or harmful outcomes, and doctors must agree that there is a clear and proven treatment that can change the outcome of the disease. And that's not true. That is absolutely not true with these kinds of tests that we're talking about here. So let's take a look at them. That is the rectal exam, that what they call DRA. And incidentally, I'm not doing that. It's embarrassing, and here's why I don't want to do it. First, the DRA and the PSA are inaccurate. With the DRA, you may, or the rectal exam, you may as well flip a coin. It would work. It was work as reliable as a doctor's finger. The finger can only reach the back side of the prostate. So there's a 50% chance that it will miss any kind of cancer at all. And the rectal exam misses cancers that are in the early stages. So, and every doctor has his own, what's going through his brain. He determines what he is feeling every time he do a rectal exam. And so I think about some questions. What if he doesn't like you? What if he all kinds of things. I think, what if you get a doctor with a short finger? I mean, all kinds of things can happen when you take these kinds of tests. So they're inaccurate and it doesn't make sense at all to have them. And then there's the PSA test. Yes, with the PSA test, there's a high rate of false positives. You can get a false positive if you have infection, inflammation, or a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate. If your prostate is enlarged, the PSA will normally be inaccurate. PSA tests also produce a high rate of false negatives. That's right, false negatives. And listen to this. Did you know that when all of this began, that when a man would go in for a PSA test, they never told them the dangers of having this test. The test can have dangerous outcomes with permanent, you hear what I said? With permanent life-threatening effects. For a start, if a PSA is positive, you're likely to have to take a biopsy. Now, this biopsy, the procedure causes pain, bleeding from the rectum and bleeding into the urine and into the semen, and it can also cause infection, major infection in your body. Men can find that their sex lives are impaired while waiting or receiving this biopsy. See, when you used to go and they used to only stick a man one time with one needle, stick a man when he go in for a biopsy. Now, the average man is being stuck 12 to 14 times. That can create a response, a cancer response. You can create cancer cells by doing that. And a lot of times, could that be happening where men are told that, oh, you have cancer, but actually they only have what is called cancer cells that could be being created by taking the biopsy, by sticking those needles so many times into that prostate. The Chinese have proved a long time ago that you can get a cancerous response by little cuts in the body all over. So there's no question about it that this can be a dangerous thing that you can do. So men, you've got to wake up and realize. So what can we do? What should we do for our prostate? Well, first of all, what does the prostate do? The prostate is a little walnut-shaped organ that sits under the bladder. And basically all it does is help to produce sperm. That's really what it does. Could it be that they're after your prostate in order for population control? Could that be what's going on so that you can't produce more babies? Could that be it? Well, I tell you what, nobody's touching my prostate and nobody's going to stick a needle in my prostate. Of course, you can make your own decision with your doctor, but for myself, nobody is touching my prostate. And I always think about, well, they want you to start when you're 50. Well, yeah, just say when I was 49, and the next day I'm going to be 50. So now I'm 50. All of a sudden, I need to do something for my prostate? No, that doesn't make very much sense to me. So men, think about it. And here's the thing. And when most of these men, used to be, the PSA used to be at 4. And many men were told that they had cancer because their prostate was at a level of 4. Now they've changed the level. The level is 7.5. A normal PSA is now 7.5. So now what happened to all those men that was told that they had cancer at 4? No, the answer is to support your prostate, to support it, and making sure that it operates properly. How do you do that? With our product called Total Man. That's right, Total Man comes in a large 18-ounce size, normally sell for $49.95, on sale for $39.95. You can get a bottle a day for only $29.95. Dial that number right now. Don't get caught up. Dial that number 1-800-603-4460 or call me personally at 305-778-0970. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
That song here just make you feel alive. Come on now.
Say it. In you. Hey, y'all. Jehovah. I trust. Say it. Show me how to do it, y'all. I believe.
Blessed morning to all the taxi drivers, all the bus drivers. Pull up them song, yeah.
Where my islanders? Can some of y'all run down here to the front real quick? I gotta know.
Them island vibes, yeah.
Islanders, I need y'all to run down here. Come on, let me see ya. Come on, Jehovah.
We're up on the home stretch, you know.
Say it.
Morning to Nova Rockford, Illinois. Listening at work.
I trust. Say it. Show me how to do it, y'all. I believe. Say it. Say it. I believe you. I trust. Come on. Oh, Lord. Come on. Where y'all at? Come on.
So to the listeners on the Brother Gary Show, yes, we're up and running once more. Give thanks to all the sponsors. Bless up to Dr. J.L. Johnson. Some people probably amazed I said Chungy. Chungy the engineer. Yes, man. Let me get a shock today.
Let's go. Come on. Somebody make some noise in here. Come on, catch it, Jehovah. I trust in you. Oh, Lord, say it. Jehovah, I trust in you. I believe, say it, everybody say it.
We are tell them from morning. What worries are go?
I ain't gotta worry about
nothing. We care zero.
A precious friend. Oh, yeah. He loves me.
Virgin second chance. Says I ain't gonna worry about nothing.
Will never end. Oh, he loves me. Oh, he loves me.
So if you're listening in the US and you want to call, send a shout out, or you enjoying the vibes, 954-338-7973. 954-338-7973. Let me repeat the third time. 954-338-7973. Or you can send up a WhatsApp.
I ain't gotta worry about nothing.
876-453-1444. 876-453-1444. No need to worry.
He says his love, yes, will never end. Oh, he loves me. Oh, he loves me. I
you can't mix it up now. Ready, ready, ready.
You're my creator, Lord, you know my times. Seasons of breakthrough, my seasons of trial.
Shout out to Nicola Pleasant Hill. Send a shout out to her two daughters.
You, and you I will find. You're my strong tower. In you I will hide.
I know vitamins, but you know what?
You make me stronger. Oh, come on. Come Jamaica. From Spain to Colombia. From Canada to the US.
Gospel boss in my head. All right.
You're my creator. Lord, you know my times. Seasons of breakthrough, my seasons of trial. So I will seek you, and you I will find. You're my strong tower. In you I will hide.
Just walk out of the house.
Help me now.
I'm ball out.
You make me stronger. Oh, come on. Say, you make me stronger. I lift my spirit. Lord, I'll take your hand. You fix my focus. No, I know who I am. Sing that song. I used to run from battles, but you made me strong. Jesus, God strong and mighty. I am that I am. Help me say, you make me stronger. Anybody could have been dead. Oh, but you're still.
Shout out to Sean from Settlement.
Say you make me stronger.
You make me stronger. One thing we're sure about.
Masagadaga. Masagadaga. God in the morning, God in the evening. Masagadaga. 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 God in the morning, God in the evening, Masagadaga. Say me God, I say my God, I know my God, Daniel God, Moses God, Abraham God, mighty God is here.
Bless up to the listeners in Brooklyn.
God in the morning,
Wherever you are.
evening,
Listening Styles FM. The Brother Gary Network. We all over the place, you know. Global.
Masagadaga. God in the morning, God in the evening, Masagadaga.
Beat you, Chungy. Beat them. Beat them.
Oh my God, mighty God is here. He's God in the lion den, God in the wilderness. That's another. For the Lord is my shepherd, I shall.
Victory, victory, victory.
And he maketh me to lie down in green grass.
Hello, Stars of M. Good morning. The dog are back. Bless up, caller. Could you please big up my pastor, big up to Mother Bishop and all the rules of Sharon Brethren, because we're doing a great job. Big up to Mother Chucks and Brethren from Mount Faith. Thanks for doing outstanding work. We'll try again. Hello, Styles of M. All right, respect. All right. Morning Radio Sweet.
Hold up on your victory. Hold up on your victory. Hold up on your victory. Victory in Jesus. Victory in Jesus. Hold up on your victory. I know the Lord, He's my shepherd. I shall not want.
After I go so now, I link my virgin second chance. Second chance said Chungy, I can't play one of my song them. Yeah, I forgot to.
Your victory. Hold up on your victory. Hold up Father God, I pray that you will bless us again. As you are able to give you the honor, the glory, and the praise again. Amen. Here we go.
You see me?
My heart is hungry. My soul is dry, Lord. I am thirsty for the water of life. Hey, hey, hey.
Turning back. Father God straight.
As we are grateful to give you the honor, the glory, and the praise again. Father God, I pray.
Thank you very much, Williams.
Bless us again.
Share the information.
Grateful to give you the glory and the praise again. Amen.
Coming down to the final minutes of the show. I want to say thanks, thanks again. I mean, you could have turned on the radio and your brother gets my chuck.
Bless us again.
I'm going to find something else listening here.
Another glory.
But you still keep my company. I'm really, really appreciate of that. Really, trust me.
Father God, I pray that you will bless us again.
Yeah, so I stay.
Grateful to give you.
But talk with it on your conscience, don't.
Amen.
Again.
My heart is hungry. My soul is dry, Lord. I am thirsty for the water of life. I beg you, help me, Jesus, to make the last mile. I've come too far to turn back now. My heart is hungry. My soul is dry, Lord. I am thirsting for the water of life.
You know, it's a Friday night. We flat down the place with the sisters calling them, I tell you. Remix it up now. blessings in abundance this morning. Big up to Sister Mount Pleasant. Big up to Alpha. One thing me know.
When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no.
Again.
I'm not worried about a thing, 'cause I know you are guiding me. Where you lead me, Lord, I will go. I have no fear 'cause I know who's in control. There's no limit to what you can do, 'cause it all belongs to you. Yes, it all belongs to you. You're almighty and all powerful, and it all belongs to you. Yes, it all belongs to you.
Energy in the morning.
Nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody.
Hello, Stars FM. Final call.
Yes, Chungy, big up yourself.
All right, respect.
Yeah, my brother Gary.
Cool. Ah, boy. Well, I say thanks to everybody who kept me company. I hope I really, really did my best. I hope you really, really enjoyed it as well. Let's go.
Nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody.
Oh, it's a guan chungy.
Things already better. Things already better. Things already better. Already better. For the Lord is on my side. Things already better. 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 You see, the Lord is on our side. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better.
No matter how the valley look dark, no matter how the water full of shark, even though we break to look far, we just not go work 'cause we ain't gotta walk. No matter how the hill look steep, no matter how the river look deep, me break to look like it asleep, me just not go work.
No matter what the naysayers want to say, you know.
Kill me teeth already, me don't get it yet, but me see it already.
No matter the negative people.
Tell me some me are the weak.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Linkage Radio, come to rule. And we have the angle, the tackle, and we have the tool. Yeah, man, Sanchez, I keep it locked. Linkage.
For affordable immigration consultation, all paperwork, a green card, citizenship, work visas, asylum waivers, naturalization, or fiancé visas, you can call Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. That's Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. You may also contact her at shaysims@gmail.com. That's SHAYSIMMS@gmail.com. She's an immigration consultant and she can help you through all your paperwork.
Looking for a venue with lots of amenities at reasonable cost? Well, look no further. Lux V Event Venue Rental is your to-go place for all your special occasions. Conveniently and centrally located, we service the Bronx, Westchester, and NYC metro areas. Our all-white canvas features 3,200 square feet, available for your next private event. Come and host your baby showers, bridal showers, baptisms, birthday parties, conferences, christening, dinner parties, grad parties, sweet 16, repasts, weddings and wedding receptions, plus much more. Book now. Dates are filling up fast. Come and see for yourself. Visit us at 58 Grammaton Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. Call or text 914-233-7881 or 631-796-7319 with inquiries. Ask about our weekend brunch hour specials at reduced cost. Lux V Events, an inspiring social experience. See you soon.
Act fast. The world's biggest Caribbean festival, BRT Weekend in Atlantic City, New Jersey,
is almost here. Yes, the all-inclusive 3 days, 6 beach parties, BRT Weekend, July 12th through July 14th in Atlantic City is almost here. With performances by Ding Dong, Shenseea, and performing for the first time in the U.S. Squash, the Six Balls. Skinny Fabulous, Mr. Killer, Olatunji, and Vincent Ross. You and your friends need to make your vacation plans from now. It's BRT Weekend, July 12th through July 14th in Atlantic City, New Jersey, on the beach. Limited tickets and hotels available only on BRTweekend.com. That's BRTweekend.com.
Hello, I am Karith Mayer, owner and founder of the Dumpling Cove restaurant, formerly known as the Dumpling Shop. You might not know me, but I've been running this business for the past 2 decades. Over the years, we have been serving this community with the best dumplings and fried fish, and despite ups and downs, we are still dubbed the Dumpling King because no one has served more dumpling than us. In 2013, we moved to our present location, 1530 East 222nd Street, Bronx, New York. Many people ask me, why did you change the name to the Dumpling Cove? In 2016, we went through management reorganization, and my vision for the business and customers was now possible. We renovated the dining room, expanded our menu, and now have full sit-down fine dining. Have your special parties, listen to live entertainment, or have us cater all your occasions. Parking is available. The Dumpling Cove was voted #1 Caribbean restaurant in the Bronx and featured on Bronx 12 News. Come in for a great dining experience or to have a drink. I want to thank you for your continued support. See you at the Dumpling Cove.
Pass me a flask, let me tell the things them. People never know the rum talk and me a sing them. Ali brand the rum boss I represent. Remember Dilsham, Butcher's Wine and Spirit Inc. Of all of the alcoholic beverages you need. From a pink to a anchor. Moscato, Merlot, Hennessy, Douce, Tiger Bone, Ginseng, Rare Nephew Rum, Appleton, Myers Rum, Stone Ginger Wine, Red Label, Taylor Port, Fairbanks, Mount Gay, Sangster, Rum Bar, Jamaica Brandy, Syrah, Grey Goose, Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker, and more. You drinking or joking? Open hours. Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Address 104 South 4th Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. 10550. It makes sense to save you dollars. Contact 914-699-7267. Email us at DutchessWineandSpirit@gmail.com. Must be 21 and over to drink. 40 minimum delivery. Drink responsibly.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Call and place your order at 914-863-0188 or 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. Check out our menu. We have curry goat, curry chicken, fried chicken, brown stew chicken, jerk and stew pork, stew peas, ox Oxtail, brown stew fish, $12 and upwards. Goes by order. Steamed fish, $12 and upwards. Also goes by order. Steamed vegetables. All meals come with white rice or rice and peas with vegetable. Check out the soup menu. We have chicken soup, red pea soup, seafood soup, goated soup at CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Big up the top chef Conroy and his wife. Big up the two grill masters, Courtney and Ron. So remember to check out CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions.
Productions present Gary Walters live in concert Saturday, June 15th, 2019 at the New Rochelle Cricket Club, 474 North Avenue, New Rochelle, New York. Hear Gary Walters sing some classic oldies.
And then he said, hey, listen, I'm gonna bring you, baby, leave you all alone.
Plus some of his originals with special guest artists Mike Remy and Lou Drayton from 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. Admission $25 at the door. Music by DJ Straker. For information, call Gary at 914-918-2110. That's 914-918-2110. Remember, tell your friend to tell your friend. Come one and come all to see Gary Walters in concert Saturday, June 15th, 2019 at the New Rochelle Cricket Club, 474 North Avenue, New Rochelle, New York. See you there.
It makes me glow so much. Oh, plead my cause, oh Jah. I don't know June X I represent for Linkage Radio, 104.5 FM. I deaf them. New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699-1349. We also do delivery from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have the most Jamaican flavors. Grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and razor, Jamaican rum and razor, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stout ice cream cake, peach grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door. When you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, roast fish, fried fish, and roast corn, contact you at 914-699-0145. Also check out our juice bar with our smoothies, boosters, mash, and therapy juices. 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Ice cream, jerk chicken, roast fish and corn, and over them you gone.
It is no joke, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're not on this as yet, you've got to get on it like right now. Aerison Alkaline Water. Alkaline water. Yes, it energizes and it purifies you. Any major ailments that you have in. High blood pressure, skin disease, clear it up, make you look good. Energize. It hydrates all day. Can't go wrong, baby. We're talking BPA free, alkaline pH, 8.5. Get your case today. Only $24. $24 a case, 24 per case. With delivery, $25. You can't go wrong. Alkaline water. Again, Aerison Alkaline Water. Get it today. Again, energize, hydrate, get rid of all free radicals in your body. Make you feel good. Wake it up in the morning. Get you on the go. Call this number, 914-338-6417, 914-338-6417, and get your case today. 24 per case, 24 in a case. Not only that, to deliver to your door, $25, and you're gonna be on your way. It purifies, it energizes, it detoxifies your body. Call today. It energizes, purifies, detoxifies your body. Call today, 914-338-6417. Get rid of all the free radicals, cancer, skin diseases, all ailments. Make you feel energized. We're talking about the all-new product on the market, Aerison Alkaline Water. Get it today, drink it today. It's on its way, drink it today.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
So when you really think about that, it's not something you play with, So when you really think about a mother, a father, a leader, get so mad with you that they want to take you out, that's something serious. Listen to me. I want to talk to you. But I want to leave you now with this. You must become a principled person. So if you decided to do something, make a decision, you must make it based upon principles and not feelings. Okay? That's real. I watch my son. My son. Okay, live. Watch this. Never meet no ministry like this. Bring your preachers. Bring you, come, join me. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do if you're clean, join me. 347-534-0800. All you gotta do. Bring your preachers, man. Yes. Players of instrument, are you ready? That's all you gotta do. I'm gonna tell you what I say. From the nicotine, we me and a grow. Listen to my lick tambourine out the door. All you gotta do. Me never know the house I got sweet, so. All you gotta do, man. Let me see the answer for the tambourine. Join me in the airwaves. Hallelujah. Gotta let you go now. Woman and mighty man of God. Let me see the name of y'all on the same stem. Yes.
Hey, what's up, Prophet?
Hey, where PJ at?
I don't know.
Boy.
Why? What happened? They got in and don't say that. They got in the fight again. The wife and the wife's sister and her god sister.
Wow.
And the mama went over there to the house again.
Girl, don't worry. We talk later. I'm gonna call you back, all right?
Oh yeah, right.
All right.
Okay, Prophet.
All right, I'll call you back. You.
I told him about you feeling sad, but he said you was just busy.
He said you were busy. Don't worry. You have the key in your hands?
Yeah, but he wanted back.
Don't worry about it. We'll talk, all right? Catch you later.
Okay.
All right,
All right, bye.
All right, then, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, 347-534-0800. Dial my number now. I never meet no guy like this one. This one is live.
Yes. Players of instrument, are you ready?
347-534-0800. See, ladies and gentlemen, I know there are people listening to me from all over. Hey, listen. It's who manifestation the word is. Okay? It's not a gimmick. It's live. That's why when I pray, things happen. It's live. It's not no want to be. That's why you use me to raise 8 dead bodies live. You never see no God like this, don't it? Diamond number said, never see nothing like it. Whether you like it or not, you can't stop it. It's a choice. Ladies and gentlemen, 347-534-08. I'm thinking now.
The woman and mighty man of God.
I'm thinking.
Yes.
That's all you got to do now. I'm thinking, huh? Can you say I'm thinking? I'm thinking. You see? Every decision we make in life, that's why you have to stop and you have to count those costs. Because we must live
by the decisions that we make in life. Tell somebody. You see, there's a lot of you that's listening to me right now. You make your decision based upon your emotions, your feelings, and not based upon principles. That's a serious problem. You live in the airwaves.
Good morning, Prophet. Never seen no God like this.
Thank you, Sister Mel. All the way from Jamaica. Pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Prophet. I'm thinking.
Okay. All the way from Jamaica, amen. So that tell you, amen. I told you I reach people from all over, buddy. Even China.
Players of instrument, are you ready?
Me and Sister Angie went and saw my friend. Sister Angie says, Sister Angie?
Yes, Prophet?
You never meet no God like this, don't it?
Never meet no God like this, Prophet. And I'm thinking.
You remember I introduced you to my Chinese friend?
Yes.
Ah, he's even.
John.
Okay, thank you, okay?
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, no.
Yes. Players of instrument, are you ready? You know what tell them, say?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have people listen to me from all over, buddy. Okay? I introduced Sister Angie to my China friend. All the way from China. He listened to me. When I need Chinese food, I just go to him. He fixed me up some beans and some, hey, straight out of China. But you know something? When you stop, right? And you think about how can you have a kid? Came right out of your womb, man. And the kid now grow up to be successful. And the kid is not there for you when you need a kid most. What about kids? What about children? Stop lying. Stop lying. That's not normal. When the kid is in your house, the kid told you that I'm going to be there for you, mama, when I grow up. Daddy, I'm going to be there for you. Well, guess what? They're growing up and they're gone. When you needed them kids most, that kid was never there. Watch the kid now have the ability to help you and watch you suffer. What? The kid have the ability to help you now and watch you suffer. How many of you listening to me is going to speak the truth? Some of you came from a family, and your family have the ability to help you and watch you suffer. That husband has the ability to help you and watch you suffer. That wife had the ability to help you and watch you suffer. What about your leaders? Have the ability to help you and watch you suffer. Y'all want me to go, no? You want me to go? Or you want me to talk to y'all? And people are logging on. And I've been on for what time? About 5 hours now I'm on. I'm still going. Can I talk to you? Are you truthful enough? Dial my number. I gotta go.
If anybody asks me what
347534 0800.
sanctified,
ladies and gentlemen.
Hallelujah.
Is it the truth or not? Talk to me.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Instrument, are you ready? You know what tell them, say?
Talk to me.
From a nicotine, we be and a grow.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
My club get low.
Talk to me now. 3475340800. Hey, you live on the dial.
Hallelujah.
I can relate, Prophet. I was there and they looked at me and watched me while I suffered.
I like no.
Players of instrument, are you ready? You know what tell them, say?
Can you relate?
From a nicotine.
Talk to me now, live in the air.
Prophet Jay, please talk to me because I can relate to everything that you're saying, sir.
Thank you.
I can relate to them. It's not new to me.
Thank you.
The woman and mighty man of God. Mama said, "Get them off y'all."
Let me see if I get me 5 of you.
Yes.
Got to go now.
Instrument, are you ready?
You can join me tomorrow, all right?
I'm gonna tell you what.
I gotta go and talk to Sister Angie. I just want to make sure you can relate now. I want to make sure you can relate. Hey, you live on the radio dial.
I can relate, my prophet. I can relate.
All right, no.
No matter who you are, you could have be a bubble dread. You know, in there when you're live, you go in there when you're dead. Some say them need
ladies and gentlemen.
Shirt. Them can't find no clothes, so them now go to church. Some say them want 4 time a search, them a search, but I lie them, I tell them want to divert. Some swear and curse and treat us like dirt. Know them come over, things getting worse. And born again, experience rebirth. Them accept.
Ladies and gentlemen, 347-534-0800.
Tambourine out the door.
You're listening to Manifestation of the World Ministry. Prophet Jeremiah, Isaiah, why you? Live in your radio dial.
Me say them a lick tambourine out the door. Them a sing, them a clap, get low. Me never know the house I got sweet, so hey. Soldiers, police, you fi send them come. Gunman and thief, you fi send them come. No, I can see.
Ladies and gentlemen,
come. Ow! Me preach when you rise against the church.
Ladies and gentlemen, 347-534-0800.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
The woman and mighty man of God. Mama said, "Get them off y'all on the same step."
Gotta stop.
Yes.
Gotta think about a few things.
Are you ready? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what I say.
You see, as you stop and you think about a few things, you know. I watch it. I watch it in the church. I watch it out the church. I watch it in the family. I watch it out the family. It's just the way it is, you know. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, man, why? Why? You know why God allowed those things to happen? It's to show you that you have made those decisions based upon your emotions, based upon your feelings, and not based upon truth. The absolute. That means when you really think about it, it's some questions you have to ask me, myself, and I. I got to stop and ask myself some questions. And that's why it's important, because a lot of people talk to themselves. A lot of people go crazy talking to themselves. But you see, when you talk to yourself, you see, you're going to get the right answers. You're going to make the right decisions. Because it opens up your entire being to the power of the living God. Why you made such a decision? Why? Your feelings will show up in your decision making. You didn't know that? So, when you really think about it, when you come and you look at your future, who is in charge of your future? If you notice, when I came to New York, I did not get not even one person to call in and support me. And everybody's in the church. Everybody was in the church. Everybody. I never saw so many people in the church in all my life. And everybody's supposed to be gospel. Am I lying to y'all? Some of y'all listen to me right now. I'm still silent. Are y'all in the church? Not even one preacher. And the prophets and prophetess, where they at? Where they at? I could not understand this. You think they don't hear my voice? My voice is being heard everywhere. Everywhere you go, guarantee you. You may not know me, but you heard of me. 5 years. In the church. In the church. Huh? I remember I started in Brooklyn. I started in a building. 7,000. Today, you notice what I do? I carry the building. If you notice, I'm in the airwaves. Do you see or you don't see? That speaks volume, don't it? At the end of the day, you know, when you look at people, you realize not even one can agree. You can even get two. Everybody look at you like you're foreign. That's to show you there's a problem in the lordship of your life. God is the creator God. That means he created you. That is out of alignment. Okay? The Lord is your master, is your helper. That is out of alignment. Because if God that you say you serving is the infinite God, the omnipotent God, not impotent, then you are obligated to God that created heaven and earth. Huh? Come on. How your feelings get involved? How your feelings get involved? What I'm telling you. What I'm telling you. Came to New York. Not even a dime. You get from people that listen. Huh? That's why I told you I have 4 groups. You have them too. You have people waiting to see you fall. You know how long they've been waiting to see me fall from a little kid. You notice I'm still standing. You have people that listen to me, don't even support me financially. But they listen. You notice I don't beg nobody. You notice you never hear me come on no airwaves and beg people for money. I don't have to do that. The preacher that does that, God bless them. God never anointed me to do that. I ask. The reason why I ask, because I want to introduce you. I want to bring the blessing down to you so you can be blessed and live above stress. You understand? And you notice how the attacks. You notice the music that I tell you all that it wasn't of God? You notice God used me to play all of them? It's amazing, don't it? Everything they told you there wasn't of God. God sent me in to...
Greetings, welcome to Health at Sunrise, where we bring you natural and traditional remedies from the laboratories of the Almighty for what might be ailing you. I am your bush doctor, Rasan Abdul Hakim, every time. This morning we're going to be touching on a few very important topics. For instance, we'll be giving you some foods that you should be eating, incorporating in your everyday diet if you want to have a healthy liver. And the liver is a very important organ. So you'll have some food if you're suffering from any kind of liver problems. Foods that you can eat that will make a difference. We're also going to be touching on ulcers, some quick tips for ulcers and ear and scalp problems. Anybody have any problems with the scalp and the hair? We'll be giving a few tips on that also. And maybe if we have a little time for you athletes, we're going to tell you something that you can do to strengthen your muscles, some foods that you can incorporate in your everyday diet to improve your strength of your muscles and ligaments and protect them. Planting, remember, planting is one of the greatest things to strengthen the muscles and the ligaments and the connecting tendons and things, strengthen them. So hold tight, don't go nowhere. We're coming right back. Irie, Igsley, Beer, Mastigan.
People who gave you Sundial Traditional Woodroot Tonic proudly introduce Sundial Colomanti Traditional Herbal Colonic and Intestinal Cleaner. This intestinal cleaner is made of distilled spring water, wild organic herbs, and the guidance of our elders and ancestors. Used in Jamaica for generations, where Colomanti has been known to regulate and strengthen colonic muscles and to rid the stomach and intestines of gas, it heals ulcers, hemorrhoids, and other serious stomach disorders. Ask for it by name, Sundial Colomanti Traditional Herbal Colonic and Intestinal Cleaner. And the word on the street is that a daily dose of Colomanti and Sundial Woodroot Tonic will produce truly great results. Accept no substitute. Ask for Sundial Colomanti and Sundial Woodroot Tonic. Available at all leading English-speaking, French-speaking, and African health food stores. Call 212-798-3962. 798-3962.
At last, a book on herbs that's easy to read and easy to understand, featuring herbs of Latin America and the Caribbean. Basic herbs for health and healing. Read this book and learn the traditional uses of herbs for losing weight, herbs for pregnant women, babies, blood pressure and other ailments. It has instructions on how to make your own natural beauty aid, ointments, oils, lotions, soaps, perfumes, and much, much more. Basic Herbs for Health and Healing by Rashan Abdul Hakim, featuring natural and traditional remedies from the lab of the Most High for what might be ailing you.
Sundial would like to invite you to try our pure, raw, unstrained, uneaten honey. Honey that has been harvested and bottled by hand to preserve its medicinal and nutritional properties. Rich in bee pollen and natural mineral and vitamin supplement. Also bee wax that lubricate the joints, intestines, and the stomach. Royal jelly, in its natural balanced proportion. It's a tonic to the female reproductive organs. Sundial Pure Raw Honey is an emulsifier. It breaks up fat and moves mucus out of the system. Also assists one in losing weight, and it's a tonic to the nerves. Sundial Pure Raw Honey. It's not just a sweetener, it's a medicine and a food. Sundial Pure Raw Unstrained Uneaten Tropical Honey. Remember, if it's vital, it must be vital. Welcome once again to Health at Sunrise, where we bring you natural and traditional remedies for what might be ailing you. This morning we're going to talk about some fruits, some foods that you can eat when dealing with any type of liver problems. About next week or the week after next, we'll be dealing with the subject of the liver. You know, just what you can do to heal, cleanse, rejuvenate, and bring the liver back to its natural state of good health. and some other things, functions in the body that you might not know that the liver might be causing other things, you know what I mean? Other ailments that might be affecting you might be stemming from a malfunction of some sort with the liver. But today we're going to be passing on some fruits and some things that you can eat, not only if you have liver problems, but if you want to ensure that your liver remains strong and healthy, and the liver is really a very important organ in the body. Before we do that, we're going to pass on some quick tips. Some tips about the ear and the scalp. There's a herb if you have any kind of scalp problems, like parasitic type of scalp problems, like ringworm or itchy scalp, you know, sores in the scalp. Here's one thing you can do which is very, very effective. You have a herb out there known as the cerasee. It's spelled C-E-R-A-S-E-E, cerasee. You get the cerasee. In some parts of the Caribbean they call it Carilla bush. In some parts of the Caribbean it have different names. Some call it balsam apple in some areas. So the cerasee bush have a lot of different names, but the two most common names for the cerasee, the two most common names is cerasee and Carilla. So you can get it under either name. You make if you get it dried, you make a strong tea with it, right? And you use that to rinse the ear with it and let it stay in at least overnight. Let it dry into the scalp at least overnight, and then next day you can either wash it out or leave it in and then massage into the ear a combination of castor oil mixed with coconut oil, equal proportions. You massage that into the roots of the ear. That not only take care of any kind of parasitic disease of the scalp, but also cleanses the ear and help to strengthen and stimulate the growth of the ear. That's a simple traditional remedy. If you can get the fresh bush of the cerasee, you can crush it in, like, wrap it in a piece of cotton material and crush it up and then put it in in some water and use your hand and squeeze it, and the water going to turn green from the substances coming out of the cerasee bush, and then you use that water now to rinse the ear and let it dry into the scalp. Have the same effect, have an even more effective effect on the type of problems we just mentioned. So that's one of those sure shot ones, right? When dealing with the ear, you have some other things that can use. For instance, sesame seed oil is very good to massage into the scalp and the ear, and you can eat the sesame seeds to supply the nutrition that you need to stimulate the growth of the ear, to supply the nourishment via the bloodstream to stimulate the growth of the ear. So sesame seed is a tonic to the ear, both internally, eating the seeds or taking a spoon of the oil daily, and massaging the oil into the roots of the ear. Cocoa butter condition and heals the scalp and stop splitting ends, stop the ear from splitting off at the end. But first of all, you have to get all those chemicals out of your ear, because the chemicals is what really damage the ear. It might look nice for an year or a few months or whatever, but when it come back on you, you just going to have to resort to a wig, because you're going to be a bald head. You know, so stop putting those chemicals in the ear, killing the ear at the root. You know, it's like putting chemicals on a plant, you know. It's going to kill it, you know. So first you have to stop putting the chemicals in the ear, then you use the natural treatments. Coconut oil penetrates into the ear, you know, making it fluffy, relieve itching, you know, stimulate the growth of the ear, and open the pores in the ear to absorb the nourishment to strengthen the ear. So coconut oil is a very good oil to use into the scalp, especially in babies' hair. You know, coconut oil, excellent. And coconut oil can cook with it, you can do all kind of things with it, you know. Very healthy all around oil, especially for African and Indian people. Olive oil. Pure olive oil is another very good oil. It conditions the hair, it nourishes the hair, it relieves dandruff, you know, that itching, stimulate the growth. And you can mix it with other oils, any one of the other oils, you can combine with it in equal proportions for to make a good hair oil. You know, so that is it for the quick tip of the morning. With the air, we're going to take a quick break right now, so come.
Yourself and don't need no drag.
Sundial Traditional African Man-Back Tonic, a combination of roots and barks used in Ghana, West Africa for all male weaknesses, especially if they occur in the back, spine, nervous or reproductive systems. Also used to prevent and treat impotence. So if you're not functioning up to par, lacking strength and stamina, try Sundial African Man-Back Tonic to help heal, cleanse, strengthen and bring the reproductive organs to their natural state of good health. Ask for Sundial African Man-Back Tonic, 100% natural and traditional, every time. Are you feeling run down, tired, lacking strength and stamina, suffering from multiple ailments and nothing seems to be working? It's time to try Sundial Original Maroon Recipe Wood and Root Tonic to help heal, cleanse, strengthen and rejuvenate the body. The recipe used in this herbal tonic was passed down by generations of Maroon people who used this formula to rid the body and blood of toxic waste, poisons, infections, and to protect them against epidemics and venereal diseases. Also as a tonic to the male and female reproductive system. Sundial contains no artificial or unnatural chemicals of any kind. 100% natural. Celebrate your culture and heritage with herbal products that are compatible to your biological makeup. Ask for Sundial Original Maroon Recipe Wood and Root Tonic every time.
Augustus Pablo from the album Original Rockers Part 2. Coming up next, some tips about the liver. If you wanna have any problems with your liver, we're gonna give you some foods that you can eat to assist in bringing the liver back to its natural state of good health. Ishi, Igsley Beer, Imaskan. We're back. I'm going to talk a little bit about the liver, you know, not really get into it, but just to give you some, if you're having any type of liver problem, some fruits and foods that you should start including into your daily diet, which will have a positive effect on the liver in terms of cleansing, healing, and rebuilding the liver. So I'm going to pass on some foods that you can eat. For instance, vine-ripened tomatoes are excellent for the liver. They contain chlorine and sulfur. You see, sulfur cleanses the liver while the chlorine stimulates it. So it heals and rebuilds the liver. So vine-ripened tomatoes suffering from any kind of liver problems, try to eat a vine-ripened tomato or two every day. Fresh, raw, just eat it raw. See, you have asparagus. You know, asparagus is very good because it cleanses the liver. You know, very good to clean the liver, rebuild the liver. Another couple other, the dandelion, it also cleanses the liver. Dandelions, where they have the greens, or you make a tea with the roots and drink it as water. Very good, excellent for the liver. Passion fruit for weak liver, weak, sluggish liver. You can eat like the grapefruits, the passion fruit, very good for a weak liver. Guava, that's another very excellent. It stimulates, cleanse, and it stimulates the liver. That's the guava. And the guava does two things. It not only cleanses the liver, but it stimulates it. Onions, very good. Lemon juice in water every day, like a juice of a lemon in some water every day. You can sweeten with a little honey if you desire, but that's very good for the liver. It cleanses it, you know. And to keep the liver clean is very, very important, because the liver have a lot of very vital functions that it carries out in the body. Next week or the week after, we'll be talking about the liver in depth, what its functions is, and what you can do to maintain a healthy liver, and what you can do using the natural and traditional remedies from the laboratories of the Most High to bring that liver back to its natural state of good health. We'll be telling you some other things to do when you deal with the liver specifically. But you see, these fruits we mentioned, try to eat at least any 2 or 3 of them daily, just to maintain, especially that tomatoes, to eat that raw vine-ripened tomato every day. It cleanses the liver, stimulates the liver, and will rebuild the liver. See, some people with liver alcoholics who have cirrhosis of the liver, drinking all that rum and whiskey and eat off piece of the liver. Well, these foods rebuilds the liver, rebuild the cell, the tissue itself, and bring the liver back to its natural state of good health. So in the meantime, folks with liver problems can start utilizing those fruits, and not only if you have a liver problem, but if you'd like to maintain a healthy liver and maintain healthy body functions, because as we're going to mention later on next week, just exactly what the liver does. So go take a quick break and come right back.
Suffer not the children to come unto him, for such is the kingdom of Zion. Jesus loved the little children, all the children of the world, red and yellow, black and white, all are precious in his sight. Jesus loved the little children of the world. Ay, alright. Jesus loved the little children, all the children of the world, red and yellow, black and white, all are precious in his sight. Jesus loved the little children of the world. Oh yes, for there's no satisfaction without salvation. S-A-L
natural, build them muscles strong. Cornmeal is very, very important, but when you take cornmeal, you should always parch it first. You know, parching is like roasting it, you know. If you look back in all the cultures in time, they always parch the cornmeal before you use it, because what the parching does, it breaks down certain elements in it and the starches and everything, so it makes it very easy to digest even before you make the porridge. Parching is easy. Like say you're going to use a cup of cornmeal. You put it in a skillet, you know, a skillet or a clean frying pan with no Go take a quick break and come right back.
All the children of the world, yellow, black, and white, all are precious in His sight. Jesus loved the children of the world. Alright, for there's no satisfaction without salvation. S-A-L-V-A-T-I-O-N. Shout it out.
Welcome back to Health at Sunrise, where we bring you natural and traditional remedies from the laboratories of the Most High for what might be ailing you. Ulcers. A lot of people suffering from ulcers based on, improper diet again, wrong type of foods, overeating, all kind of things cause ulcers, but mainly it is the diet primarily. Here are some things that you can do to relieve the discomfort of ulcers and to promote the healing process and to assist you to get rid of them. You know what I mean? Papaya is excellent. Drink the papaya juice. Eat the fresh papayas daily if you're suffering from ulcers. You're going to have, after you eating that for 3-4 days, miraculous improvement, no lie. Alfalfa herb tea with cayenne pepper in it, excellent for ulcers. Cabbage juice, or chewing on the cabbage and sucking out the juice and then swallowing the fiber, very good for ulcers. Dates, coconut, get the coconut and chew on it and suck out the milk and then swallow the fiber to clean the stomach. Excellent, excellent. But the three main things, the papayas, the cabbage and the coconut, and that cayenne pepper, otherwise known as bird pepper, excellent for ulcers. If you have pain from an ulcer, you just put a little cayenne pepper in a little water and sip it down. Almost instant relief. No problem. Almost instant relief. Don't feel no way. The coconut milk, very good and very healing to the stomach. Arrowroot. Drink the arrowroot porridge. Very good to heal and soothe the stomach. Stay away from the fried foods, the dairy products, the rice, the flour. You can eat the ground foods because they don't have the yams and the dasheen and those type of foods, because they don't have no concentrated starches or acid, and they have a lot of fiber, and they are very easy to digest and very nutritious at the same time. Better if you can roast them or bake them. Very much more easy to digest that way and much more nutritious that way rather than boiling them. So that's some foods things you can eat using letting your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food, as taught by Imhotep the Wise One, first doctor on earth, ancient Ethiopian. Before I go, I'd like to say, don't put an invisible chain around your brain. Stay away from drugs. Before I go, I'd like to say, don't put an invisible chain around your brain. Stay away from drugs, alcohol, crack, cigarettes, and cocaine. Remember, mental slavery is worse than the physical slavery, and it could be the mental slavery next time, so you better watch it. And remember, the degree of healing is directly measured by the amount of faith one has in the remedy. Peace and blessings.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Linkage Radio, come to rule.
Good morning to you. In regional headlines at this time, fighting at a prison in northern Brazil has left 15 inmates dead. The clashes reportedly broke out yesterday during visiting hours at the Anicio Jobim Penitentiary Complex. Some of the victims were stabbed with sharpened toothbrushes in front of visitors, while others were strangled to death. Officials say the violence has been contained and an investigation has begun into the cause of the struggle. Meanwhile, representatives of the Venezuelan government and opposition have returned to Norway for talks aimed at resolving the political crisis in the South American country. Norway said it will mediate discussions this week in Oslo. This is said to be an indication that the negotiation track is gaining momentum after months of escalating tension between Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and Juan Guaido, the U.S.-backed opposition leader. The funeral has been held for the 2-year-old migrant who died after being held in U.S. custody with his mother. Doctors said he died of pneumonia. Wilmer Jose Ramirez is the youngest of 6 children to have died since December, either while in U.S. detention or shortly after being released or transferred to hospital. His mother is reportedly still being held in U.S. custody and could not attend the funeral, which was held in eastern Guatemala. The Barbados government says the public smoking of marijuana will not be tolerated as part of the move to establish a cannabis industry. Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic last week announced that 5 medicinal marijuana drugs had been approved for importation by the Barbados Drug Service. In a statement, the ministry reiterated the government's position in light of concerns raised by members of the public regarding smoking of marijuana. It said the smoking of marijuana would not be part of the process since there was no scientifically proven medicinal benefit. The ministry added that the drugs to be imported were approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration. And those were the latest headlines at this time. Headlines come your way next at 11 o'clock. I am Stacey Ann Delevante.
You're locked on to the #1 radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
#1. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Linkage Radio, come to rule. And we have the angle, the tackle, and we have the tool. Yeah, man, Sanchez, I keep it locked. Linkage.
For affordable immigration consultation, all paperwork, a green card, citizenship, work visas, asylum waivers, naturalization, or fiancé visas, you can call Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. That's Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. You may also contact her at shaysims@gmail.com. That's SHAYSIMMS@gmail.com. She's an immigration consultant and she can help you through all your paperwork.
Looking for a venue with lots of amenities at reasonable cost? Well, look no further. Lux V Event Venue Rental is here to go place for all your special occasions. Conveniently and centrally located, we service the Bronx, Westchester, and NYC metro areas. Our all-white canvas features 3,200 square feet, available for your next private event. Come and host your baby showers, bridal showers, baptisms, birthday parties, conferences, christening, dinner parties, grad parties, sweet 16, repass, weddings and wedding receptions, plus much more. Book now. Dates are filling up fast. Come and see for yourself. Visit us at 58 Gramerton Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. Call or text 914-233-7881 or 631-796-7319 with inquiries. Ask about our weekend brunch hour specials at reduced cost. Lux V Events, an inspiring social experience. See you soon.
Act fast. The world's biggest Caribbean festival, BRT Weekend in Atlantic City, New Jersey,
is almost here. Yes, the all-inclusive 3 days, 6 beach parties, BRT Weekend, July 12th through July 14th in Atlantic City is almost here. With performances by Ding Dong, Shenseea, and performing for the first time in the U.S. Squash, the Six Balls. Bunch of Garden, Voice, Skinny Fabulous, Mr. Killer, Olatunji, and Vincent Ross. You and your friends need to make your vacation plans from now. It's BRT Weekend, July 12th through July 14th in Atlantic City, New Jersey, on the beach. Limited tickets and hotels available only on BRTweekend.com. That's BRTweekend.com.
Hello, I am Karith Mir, owner and founder of the Dumpling Cove restaurant, formerly known as the Dumpling Shop. You might not know me, but I've been running this business for the past 2 decades. Over the years, we have been serving this community with the best dumplings and fried fish, and despite ups and downs, we are still dubbed the Dumpling King because no one has served more dumpling than us. In 2013, we moved to our present location, 1530 East 222nd Street, Bronx, New York. Many people ask me, why did you change the name to the Dumpling Cove? In 2016, we went through management reorganization, and my vision for the business and customers was now possible. We renovated the dining room, expanded our menu, and now have full sit-down fine dining. Have your special parties, listen to live entertainment, or have us cater all your occasions. Parking is available. The Dumpling Cove was voted #1 Caribbean restaurant in the Bronx and featured on Bronx 12 News. Come in for a great dining experience or to have a drink. I want to thank you for your continued support. See you at the Dumpling Cove.
Pass me a flask, let me tell the things them. People never know the rum talk and me a sing them. Ali Brand the rum boss I represent. Remember Dilsham, Butchers Wine and Spirit Inc. Of all of the alcoholic beverages you need. From a pink to a anchor. Moscato, Merlot, Hennessy, Douce, Tiger Bone, Ginseng, Rare Nephew Rum, Appleton, Myers Rum, Stone Ginger Wine, Red Label, Taylor Port, Fairbanks, Mount Gay, Sangster, Rum Bar, Jamaica Brandy, Syrah, Grey Goose, Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker and more. You're drinking or joking, open hours. Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Address, 104 South 4th Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. It makes sense to save you dollars. Contact 914-699-7267. Email us at DutchessWineXpert@gmail.com. Must be 21 and over to drink. 40 minimum delivery. Drink responsibly.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Call and place your order at 914-863-0188 or 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. Check out our menu. We have curry goat, curry chicken, fried chicken, brown stew chicken, jerk and stew pork, stew peas, oxtail, brown stew fish, $12 and upwards. Goes by order. Steamed fish, $12 and upwards. Also goes by order. Steamed vegetables. All meals come with white rice or rice and peas with vegetable. Check out the soup menu. We have chicken soup, red pea soup, seafood soup, goated soup at CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Big up the top chef Conroy and his wife. Big up the 2 grill masters, Courtney and Run. So remember to check out CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions.
Productions present Gary Walters live in concert Saturday, June 15th, 2019 at the New Rochelle Cricket Club, 474 North Avenue, New Rochelle, New York. Hear Gary Walters sing some classic oldies.
And then he said, hey, listen, I'm gonna bring you, baby, leave you all alone.
Plus some of his originals with special guest artists Mike Remy and Lou Drayton from 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. Admission $25 at the door. Music by DJ Straker. For information, call Gary at 914-918-2110. That's 914-918-2110. Remember, tell your friend to tell your friend. Come one and come all to see Gary Walters in concert Saturday, June 15th, 2019 at the New Rochelle Cricket Club, 474 North Avenue, New Rochelle, New York. See you there.
It makes me glow so much.
Oh, plead my cause, oh Jah. I don't know June X I represent for Linkage Radio, 104.5 FM. I deaf them. New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699-1349. We also do delivery from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have the most Jamaican flavors: grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and raisin, Jamaican rum and raisin, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stout ice cream cake, peach grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door. When you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, roast fish, fried fish, and roast corn, contact me at 914-699-0145. Also check out our juice bar with our smoothies, boosters, mash, and therapy juices. 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Ice cream, jerk chicken, roast fish and corn, and over them gone.
It is no joke, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're not on this as yet, you've got to get on it like right now. Sun Alkaline Water. Alkaline water. Yes, it energizes and it purifies you. Any major ailments that you have in, high blood pressure, skin disease, clear it up, make you look good, energize, it hydrates all day. Can't go wrong, baby. We're talking BPA-free, alkaline pH, 8.5. Get your case today. Only $24. $24 a case, 24 per case. With delivery, $25. You can't go wrong. Alkaline water. Again, Sun Alkaline Water. Get it today. Again, energize, hydrate, get rid of all free radicals in your body. Make you feel good. Wake it up in the morning. Get you on the go. Call this number, 914-338-6417, 914-338-6417, and get your case today. 24 per case, 24 in a case. Not only that, to deliver to your door, $25, and you're gonna be on your way. It purifies, it energizes, it detoxifies your body. Call today. It energizes, purifies, detoxifies your body. Call today, 914-338-6417. Get rid of all the free radicals, cancer, skin diseases, all ailments. Make you feel energized. We're talking about the all-new product on the market, Sun Alkaline Water. Get it today, drink it today. It's on its way, drink it today.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
And it relates to the security company that was robbed. You heard right. Security company. A company that you would imagine is there to protect you, to protect me, to ensure that we are not robbed. Well, the security company itself was robbed. This is in Montego Bay, Iron Shore Estate. 19 firearms stolen. I probably should use the word allegedly. Allegedly stolen. As the police are trying to determine whether in fact it was a robbery or in fact this was an inside job. I have to say it sounds very strange. My research has shown that if you have a security company that has firearms at its base, that you are mandated by the regulations coming from the Private Security Regulations Authority. It's a government authority that does inspections of these places annually. But you have to have several systems in place. And if you think about it, it makes sense. We're going to go to the break, and I'll be back with more on the hotline.
Jamaica's economic growth and development depends on all Jamaicans, whether at home or abroad. Let's work together to build a better Jamaica. The time by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is
15 minutes after 10.
The Issa Trust Foundation and Couples Resorts, in association with the RGR Gleena Communications Group, present An Evening with Air Supply and Third World. A night of exceptional music under the stars at Couple Sanssouci in Ocherius, Saturday, June 1st at 8 p.m. with special guest Coffee. All proceeds will go towards the development of the pediatric wards at Savlamar and Nottingham Bay hospitals. Project supported by the National Health Fund. Tickets available at IssaTrustFoundation.com or islandwide at Couples Resorts, Fontana Pharmacies, Country Store, Usain Bolt's Tracks and Records, and Bridget Sandals. Sponsored by Water, Mayberry Investments, CPJ, Rainforest Seafoods, CIBC, and JTB. An evening with Air Supply and Third World. Don't miss it.
There's no time like now to give your home that well-needed makeover. Get everything you need in our Active Home Center anniversary sale with up to 50% off selected items from May 25 to June 1, 2019. Shop tiles, bathroom fixtures, kitchen, lighting, furniture, appliances, and so much more. Plus, check out our newest arrivals all under one roof. Visit us at 84 Constant Spring Road. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Wellness of mind, body, and soul is essential to a happy, productive, and fulfilling life. It is described as the active process of becoming aware of and making choices toward healthy living. Illnesses or ailments can disturb our regular patterns, put a massive dent on our finances, and place an unexpected burden on our loved ones. Arm yourself with useful information from medical professionals and specialists on health and wellness matters on Ways to Wellness every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. during the coffee break on RJR 94 FM. Brought to you by the National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living.
Talk Radio 94 FM.
Just because you do a lot of talk.
RJR's Hotline. We're not just talk. We're substance.
Welcome back to the hotline. I'm Andre Earl, sitting in for my learned friend, Clive Mullings. So I was saying just before the break, this whole matter of Maypen, and I should have mentioned also in the Maypen incident that policemen were shot. So we wish them a speed recovery. They did respond to the scene. Apparently they got there. Some of them got there, a sergeant and a constable, prior to the escape of the gunmen, but they were shot. Don't know if they were able to return the fire in terms of being able to put down or assist in restraining any of the gunmen, the armed men who were there, heavily armed, AK-47s and M16 rifles. So we wish them a speedy recovery. Another policeman apparently was able to respond as well, and the escape car, one of the escape cars, was said to have crashed down the road. So that matter, we need to hear a little bit more about that. But back to this other issue that I raised, the whole matter now of the security company. So the security company that is supposed to be providing security for us, you and me, that is supposed to prevent robberies, that is supposed to be assisting in law enforcement. This is the company that was robbed, the one in Montego Bay, Ironshore Estate. 19 firearms stolen, numerous rounds of ammunition. The Firearm Licensing Authority is currently investigating that matter. There is the belief that it could be an inside job. So, serious matter. Very, very serious matter. And you have to ask yourself, how could that happen really? Because based on research that I've been able to do between the time the story was released and now, it is my understanding that companies like that should have certain systems in place. First and foremost, you should have an individual, a guard should be at the premises 24/7. Can't just lock up and go away, as is being reported. One of the directors of the company saying that locked up, left the premises, and when he returned, he found the grills and padlocks broken. No. You don't just lock up and that's not how you leave a gun safe of this size that is going to be having 19 firearms stolen in one fell swoop. And then you would expect also that there would be cameras to be able to, surveillance cameras, to be able to see what is happening on the external perimeter prior to somebody even being able to come in, and those cameras being remotely accessible so that it doesn't matter if you come inside the premises and take away the computer and so on. That should have been fed remotely to an off-site location. And then what about the regular alarm? Even before you can enter the building, or as you enter the building, you'd expect some kind of alarm to be triggered. Remember, this is in Montego Bay, which is where one of the states of emergency has currently been established. And then, at the very least, you would expect the type of safe that would require 2 persons to own, not one. Perhaps a code in combination with, for example, not just the code, but the key. So somebody has a key and somebody else has a remote access code. You'd expect that to work jointly and to be required. So I'm not understanding the story. And so you can see why the police are exploring whether or not it is an inside job. But as far as I'm concerned, it is such a serious matter that there should be a thorough investigation, and at the end of the process, you should have some kind, at the end of this process, some kind of result where if it shows that there is negligence, or if it shows that there was some corruption or inside job, that the full weight of the law is brought to bear on those responsible. Can't just have firearms locked up like that and people allegedly break in and just walk out with 19 firearms in a parish where there's a state of emergency. That is making a mockery of our law. I want to hear what you have to say on these matters, because it's such a serious matter. This matter of crime, if we don't get it under control, then all of the hard work that is being done to strengthen our economy, to make our Vision 2030 plans a reality. Remember, it's just 11 years, 10 and a half years to Vision 2030. So, that's not that far, just a little over a decade away. If we are to get serious, we have to get this crime monster under control. As I said, we're trying to reach a commissioner and or the Honorable Minister of National Security just to hear a little bit more about these 2 incidents, Maypen and Montego Bay. But there are other matters. I want to just raise a few more if I can. This matter now of the statement from Crystal Tomlinson of the PNP youth organization. You heard about it. There was a terrible comparison made between the PM, Most Honorable Andrew Holness, and Adolf Hitler. I gather that an apology has been made by Ms. Tomlinson, which is good. But the political ombudsman says she's still going to investigate, even though apparently no formal complaint has been lodged, because she's saying that there's a breach of the political code of conduct. I would encourage everyone, and those in leadership in particular, to be very careful. Try and think before you act. An apology is good, but think about things more before you act, so that you don't have to find yourself in a position where you're called upon or you're forced to apologize. Try. Think about it. Is this the best thing that I could do? Is what I am doing the right thing? Is there another way that I could express what it is that I want to say? Think about it. I don't know, but politicians, I say it to my friends all the time, when politicians get up on a platform, it's like them head take them. You notice? It's like the head actually take them. They say some of the strangest things. I don't know if it is to incite the crowd or to whip up a response, or because the speech is otherwise flat, they feel they have to say these things. But think about what you are saying before you say it, because you have to be responsible. So we'll see where that one ends. Good news. We have 4 finalists in the script spelling bee competition. Darian Douglas from Glenmuir, 7th grader. He was the Gleaners Children's Own 2019 spelling bee champion. And Ashley Jarrett from Immaculate. Honey Advani from Heinz Simonich, and Ronoya Anderson from Titchfield High School. Scripps is going on now. Remember, Scripps was that spelling competition that Jody and Maxwell won and made Jamaica so proud in 1998. So we have 4 persons there, and we want to wish them all the best. Started yesterday, and it goes through to Friday, this Friday the 31st. All right, so I'm going to be taking your calls. The numbers are 876-926-7615, 876-926-8631, 876-926-2178, or 888-991-2080. The text line, if you want to send a text, 876-285-4757. Somebody saying, good morning, sir. You're joking, man. You want to see the live video? The commissioner don't have a clue. I can send you the video. They are holding some Chinese hostage. I'm sure that's a reference to the Maypen incident. Very serious matter. All right, we're going to take a break now, and then right after the break, I'll go to the phone lines. This is the hotline. Remember, Andre Earl here, and we have lots to discuss this morning. So we go to the break at this time.
You're tuned to RJ 94 FM, Real Jamaican Radio. Low, stable and predictable inflation is the path to economic well-being. The time by the Bank of Jamaica is now 10:30.
Jamaica Plumbing Supplies is having an all-week store-wide sale. May 27 to June 1. Save 20% minimum on residential or commercial PVC pipes and fittings, basins, toilets, urinals, sinks, faucets, bathroom accessories, and so much more. Visit us at 56 Malides Road, Sovereign Village, Portmore, or online at www.jamaicaplumbing.supplies.com. Don't miss out on your 20% savings. Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited. Let's save water. Conditions apply.
1, 2, 3, 2 more. 1, 2.
Adults to 30 minutes activity daily. Love your body, treat your body right.
vegetables, make sure you eat plenty. Children do 60 minutes activity daily. Drink some water when you feel thirsty. Cut down dessert and have a smoothie. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Morning.
Morning, morning.
What is this foolishness about farming inside your house?
We have a greenhouse where we grow tomato, you know.
Aye, poor me.
You know me love about it, mama. You can grow a certain crop in it long after the season done.
Pity we couldn't do that for you, eh?
And me, man, Barry the barometer. Protect your crops from the serious weather caused by climate change. Invest in greenhouse farming. No crop damage from rain or drought. And less disease too. Food security for surety.
Smart and steady, get climate ready.
Visit PPCRJA on Facebook for more on climate change.
Get ready to move things out. The Home and Things Warehouse clearance is on. With prices so low cost, everything must go. We have dropped some of the prices even below cost, so we can make room for new arrivals. Check out the massive sale on tiles, bathroom fixtures and faucets, laminate flooring, glass blocks, drywall, windows and doors, home decor and more. Yes, everything must go to make space for new arrivals. The Home and Things Warehouse clearance, Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. Everything must set off.
Talk Radio 94 FM.
Just because you do a lot of talk.
RJR's Hotline. We're not just talk, we're substance.
Welcome back to the hotline. I'm Andre Earl, and I am looking forward to your calls. One more matter. I said I was going to deal with the phones when I came back, but I have to raise this matter. This is another very serious matter. As I said, so much happening in the news.
Thing, it left a very positive mark in my heart, and I never told you, but I'm telling you openly on the radio, you know.
Thank you.
I admire that courage and tenacity, and you came on board and you roll up your sleeve. You see so many work that need to be done, and I saw you and your wife equally roll up your sleeve and just jump right in and begin to help. And I want to say thank you. That's a service. Work is not easy because my vision that God gave me is a huge one.
Alleged victims are claiming that reports were made over 2 years ago, and nothing has been done by the administration. A female American professor at the school who is there on a work permit has also corroborated the story of some of the students. She says that she has received several reports from students, but the administration has done nothing. A male lecturer says he has received several reports from students, and nothing has been done by either the administration or the board. Complaints include, quote, "I can't wait," this is the alleged sexual harassment offender, "I can't wait until you are old enough to have sex with. If you don't do this for me, you are not going to have a good grade." A reference to a passing grade. The Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts is led by 3 women, principal and 2 VPs. I'm hoping that we can have a discussion with the principal, and if she's hearing this, if she could reach out to us at RGR, I'd be happy to interview her now. Principal Nicolene DeGrasse Johnson and the vice principals Kerry-Ann Henry and Dr. Trudy-Ann Barrett. We'd love to hear from one of you concerning this very serious allegation. It is an allegation. We recognize that. And the matter is something, you know, in these matters you have various sides to the same story. And so we want to hear from the administration. But you know who else I'd love to hear from? I would love to hear from the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Dr. Grace McLean, the permanent secretary, we're going to try and reach out to her as well in the program to see if we can get a comment from the Ministry of Education, under whose auspices Edna Manley falls. The public defender has launched an investigation, but she says that the investigations are at a delicate stage. So we need to find out what is happening. Of course, the matter of sexual harassment is nothing new. It is something that happens in several institutions, including corporate Jamaica. One victim told me once that to get her boss to stop, she had to threaten to record him. And it was at that stage that he stopped. So why is this person, if this story is true, why is this lecturer allowed to continue like this? Why isn't disciplinary action taken against him? Not quite understanding why. Is he that good a lecturer? And does it matter? Or is it that there's no truth to this story? Remember, more than one side to the story, and that is why I am appealing to the heads, chairman of the board, or to Principal DeGrasse Johnson. If we could hear from you, that would help things quite a lot. Sexual harassment is not yet an offense under our law. The bill should have been tabled in Parliament last year, but was not. And so it's not an offense. It's not a criminal offense. However, it is something which is believed to be important enough to have been drafted as a bill, and the bill is to be laid in Parliament for debate. But even without that bill, it seems to me in this environment, teacher and student, public educational institution, that in such circumstances, there are certainly grounds for disciplinary action. And this seems to be something that is ongoing. So I want to hear about that. All right, let me go to the phones. 926-2178. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Earl.
Excellent.
I'm glad you said it, sir, in your commentary there. There are certain things that are with us as humans that we'll never have any major resolution to or for, because it's just human nature. In a setting like Edna Manley or any setting like that, and even though it's an allegation, you can safely say in a settings like those, you'll have allegations and actual incidents like those. You won't get rid of it. What we need to do, though, is when it is properly investigated,
yes,
that the proper sanctions are placed on those who are responsible. But it's an illusion to think that we'll ever pass that.
True. But you say we need to start acting.
Right.
And I mean, the reports are suggesting that students were complaining about this for years. One report today said that is from 2015. That's 4 years. And that is hundreds of students. Now, that may be an exaggeration, but it suggests that it has been ongoing, one, and two, that the administration has been made aware.
Yes, and in most organizations, whether government,
private sector,
the public sector, anything having to do with top management or just top staff, it will not be dealt with as promptly and as thoroughly as the general public would hope for. That's just the general thing. When I was at school, at college, it was said by somebody that they would take the word of one administrator over 1,000 students. I heard that with my own ears.
Yes.
So that's such a, and we just have, there are some things in this life that just won't be fair. There's nothing about equality and justice and a level playing field. There's no such thing in this world, not even the church, and I'm a church person.
Yes. But you see, the problem I'm having, sir, with that line of argument is that in this particular instance, there is an American professor who has come out and corroborated the story. She apparently has made a report to the U.S. Embassy, to the Bureau of Gender Affairs. As I said before, the public defender was notified. I beg your pardon?
Did she made a report? Did she make a report to the local authorities?
I don't know the chronology of events. But
important too.
Yes, I don't know the chronology of events, but remember, it's not a criminal offense. So she's
become one if it's like it's exchange for grades and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah, but she's a lecturer there.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a lecturer there, and apparently she's saying that she herself was a victim of this particular lecture.
Okay.
So she has reported it to her embassy. I guess she's going by what her experience is from the United States. But she's here on a work permit, so she has reported it to her embassy. She has reported it to the Bureau of Gender Affairs. She has reported it to other places, including the administration. And so we have to hear about this. As I say, I'm going to ask the producer to reach out to Dr. Grace McLean, who is the permanent secretary, so we can get a response, because it's a very serious matter.
Anyway, that's not what I really want to talk about this morning.
Yes.
It's something I really want to ask you, because I really want to get it. This NIDS thing that it was pushed through and rejected by the court, by the government and the opposition, they were for it to some extent from before. Now, in what way? Because they talk about it will be an asset to the economy, it will whatever. It will generate any economic growth in it, or what will it do? And if it cannot be used as a crime-fighting tool, then what's the importance of it? Since we have other means of identification presently, what will it do? How will it enhance productivity? How will it enhance growth? I want an explanation for that, a clear, detailed explanation.
Well, the NIDS people are the best people to speak on that. But what is very clear is that I think it is widely accepted that there is utility to having a single national identification system, which is what NIDS is all about. And this started, as you know, is nothing new, There was an attempt made in 1979, then again in the late 1990s, and now. So it's nothing new in that sense. What the issue with this NIDS law, which was just struck down by the court as being unconstitutional, was that at the end of the day, it was felt that it was too draconian, and it made certain breaches of the law so draconian that you could be in peril of getting a fine or some kind of penalty under the criminal law. And it was felt that to criminalize it in certain circumstances, what they call the mandatory provisions, was unfair. But in terms of the utility, you'd be amazed. There are a number of persons right now with whom you would want to do business, or persons who are trying to do various things in Jamaica and just don't have a proper identification.
So the national ID, the TRN,
there are some people who don't have TRN now. There are some people who don't have TRN. There are some people who don't have the national ID. There are so what it was felt that this was a drive now to say, you know what happened? Just like how all births have to be registered, let us come up with a system now that has a uniform registration for everyone from birth. Hold my friend, I have to take a break.
Improper overtaking and bad use of lanes led to most traffic accidents and deaths in 2017 and 2018. Look out and drive properly today. The time of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch is
10:45.
Talk Radio 94 FM.
Just because you do a lot of talk.
RJR's Hotline. We're not just talk, we're substance.
Welcome back to the hotline. I'm Andre Earl. Yes, go ahead, sir.
If it's merely for identification, then why not just secure the basics and move on, get it going? Then why they have to complicate it with all that they want to complicate it with? If it's just merely for identification, you need your date of birth, your old, and that sort of background business. You don't need all the other details of them. They were seeking then if it's just for that.
Yes, well, that is why I know you have heard that the government has said they will not be appealing the NIDS judgment and that they will be moving quickly to establish a joint select committee from both houses of parliament so that the matter can be discussed and that interested parties can attend the parliament and make submissions. So a very comprehensive approach is now being taken, which should have been done, I might add, from the very get-go. And so what we have to look at now is how we're going to come up with this single national identification system. You have to have things linked, and nobody can deny that there is also a crime. Your radio is on, sir. Can you switch it off for me? We're getting a feedback.
Oh,
yeah, don't switch off your radio.
The radio, I think the television.
All right, just move away from it please.
No, let me plug out this thing here.
Yeah, plug it out, because we're getting some distortion here. All right.
It's all right now? You getting the feedback now?
Not hearing it, no.
All right.
So what has to happen is that this single identification system, no doubt, will also assist in crime fighting. I don't think that anybody denies that as well. That will be of assistance. But can you imagine if somebody had one ID and you were able to say, okay, this person is who they say they are. Right now, we don't have that.
Yeah.
And so you have all kinds of problems and people can impersonate people and all kinds of things. And that is why it was felt you needed this national system. A single national form of identification. So it's a good system that is being proposed. However, it's the how. You don't want to go and breach people's rights in any willy-nilly fashion. And that was what the old law sought to do.
Well, I hope when it is tabled, they will give us in the country, in the country part, in the section an opportunity to voice, because usually those things are just done in maybe Kingston and Montego Bay, and the average citizen of anything.
Well, as I said, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice, indicated that there will be a joint select committee of both houses before which interested parties may be able to make submissions. So that's a good thing. Okay. And I want to congratulate the government on that very mature step that they have taken to this NIDS matter. Because they could have appealed it and then it would have just dragged on and on through the courts, and that wouldn't help anybody, and that would cost even more money. All right?
Yes, thank you very much.
Done. All the best to you, sir. Have a great day. Bye-bye. 876-926-7615. Hello. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great.
Yes. I have a conversation.
Yes. You have a radio on, madam? Because I get in a feedback, yes.
Let me turn it on.
Off, right.
All right. So I work with Minister of Health, right?
Yes.
And we were supposed to get our pay from Wednesday. And up until now, what time is it now? It is now some minutes to 11. My pay has not been in the bank. And, well, NCB has said, they have come out and said that 95% of persons have gotten their pay. But people still don't get paid, so I don't know. 5% cannot be so much. If you check their social media account, you will see that there's a lot of persons still complaining about not getting paid. And come on, this is from Wednesday. People are being inconvenient.
Right. Well, I did hear a report earlier today that was coming from yesterday's contact made by the bank, NCB, with the media, that they'd be extending opening hours, that 95% of the persons who used to get paid in that way have in fact received their pay, and that the balance should be able to get it today. So I expect that you should be able to get that resolved today. Have you been to your bank today?
Yes, no, I checked the machine just now. No money is there.
Okay, well, it's, as you say, it's minutes to 11. I would hold on a little bit because they're going to go through to, I believe the time I had heard was 3:30
Right, but look,
today.
Yes, but what another thing, first I've been inconvenient, right? I just going to open the bank for just 1 hour extra.
Yes.
Come on, we have been inconvenient from Wednesday. Because
Yes.
I heard, I don't remember his name, that came on this morning, and he was saying that persons, some of the files were, have some error and whatever.
Right.
Come on, we're talking about from Wednesday.
Understood. I mean, your point is well made, and I'm sure the bank is hearing you. And so what I'd encourage you to do, though, and sometimes when these things happen, that's why we got notification before. Sometimes when these things happen, in terms of system upgrades, you find that there is a major fallout in terms of the technology. There are problems, there are hiccups, there are what I call teething pains, and so it makes life that much more challenging and worse when it is your pay and you're depending on your pay because you have certain obligations and commitments that you have to fulfill. So we understand that. But the bank is trying to do its best in the circumstances, and what they have said is that they will be opening. They have extended hours today to 3:30.
1 hour.
And so 1 hour, but it helps. Obviously, the time that they extended it for must be, I imagine, informed by how much longer they think it will take for them to be able to solve that particular problem.
But can you imagine somebody who have been inconvenient from Wednesday and frustrated at the same time?
Yeah, man.
You have to go now into a bank and to join one long line. That is like torturing, right? For your money, that's like torture.
I understand. But check back and see if you can get through. Hopefully by 1 o'clock you will be okay. All right?
Okay.
All the best to you. Thanks for calling. Toll-free number 888-991-2080. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Earl.
How are you doing, sir?
Not bad.
Good.
No, 2 things.
Yes.
I listened, I think it was Tuesday night, police open house.
Police open house? Which Tuesday?
It's on your program.
Yeah, but we don't have police open house on Tuesday again. It's lawyers open house.
Yes, but then when the police officers came out, it was Thursday?
Yes, that's Thursday. That's not my program.
No, I agree. But then is yes. And they were mentioning about the jury, right?
Right.
And that what the jury, what struck me, Mr. Earl, they have been paid $2,000 per day for lunch and everything.
Right.
And somebody asked the sergeant and the police inspector, if a person is being empaneled to sit on a circuit, right?
Yes.
And the person forfeit, right? So, for example, the person is in Portland. They would take the person, arrest the person, and take the person on a Friday. They mentioned on a Friday, right? Take the person to Kingston.
Yes.
The circuit does the Supreme Court doesn't sit on a Saturday. So that person will be locked up until Monday morning, and a minimal charge is $4,000. No, Mr. Earl, they are being paid $2,000, and if you don't turn up for the jury and you are being locked up over a weekend, the fine, a minimal fine, would be $4,000. How that work out, Mr. Earl?
Well, you're talking about the fine for the juror having missed.
Yes.
Miss court.
It can, after being locked up for around 4 days, because them say once they're in Portland or something like that, they would have to come to the Supreme Court in town.
Yes.
Right. So the person would locked up from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday they take to court. Him can't take to court. Just like say Friday midday and take him to the parish court.
Yes.
He must to transport to town, locked up over the weekend, and when they face the court.
All right, I didn't hear the particular program you're referring to, JCF Now. I didn't hear last Thursday's edition of JCF Now. However, this is how I respond to you. The reality is that the stipend which the jurors receive now, long complaints have been made about that for years. And over the years, there has been improvement in terms of the amount of the stipend. It has been increased. But it still hasn't reached at a level that one can say it really works out for a juror. But then you have to look at the role and function of the juror. The juror really is performing a public service. This is a public service. And everyone who is supposed to be providing this service, who is eligible, I should say, to provide the service, because, you know, there are some exempt categories. Those persons are expected to do this really on a voluntary basis. Now, it's very hard, I know, for some persons who may have their own businesses. They are self-employed, and they may be the only person in the business. So if they leave, for example, a hairdresser, if they leave and have to go and serve jury duty on circuit for 3 weeks, that poses a problem. And the stipend certainly will never be enough. But I think what we have to recognize is that it will never be enough. It just never will be enough. And so you're going to find people going to try and duck out of it and so on. But at the same time, they have to recognize that it is a duty and a responsibility that they have to serve. And the reason is, if they don't do it, and they don't carry out the duty in the way it is anticipated and expected that they ought to, the problem you're going to have is that the system is going to break down. People are going to just walk free, and many of us who sit down on our verandas or in our living rooms or at the office or at the bus stop or in the taxis or at the bus stand, and we talk about how them could let go the man. Anybody could say that man is guilty. How the jury could do that? Well, that is what is going to happen if the people who are supposed to step up to the plate are not stepping up to the plate and doing a proper job. So you can't look on it in terms of stipend versus what it is that you will be fined. The reality is that it will never, ever be enough. And so if you are someone, or if you know anyone who is eligible to perform the duty, I would say encourage them. Encourage them to do it. Don't look on it in terms of the return that you get in terms of compensation, because it is not compensation. It's really just a stipend to help you get by, to give you some food, some sustenance for the day, help you with your transportation. It may not even be sufficient to help you with transportation and all those other costs, but it's going a part of the way to assist in defraying some of your costs, because it essentially is a voluntary duty which we are all called upon to do. All right? All right. Okay, so listeners, lots talking about this morning on the hotline. Want to hear your views. We're going to be going to the news at this time, but just want to say that so much talking, so much issues to talk about, especially the Maypen incident. That is very worrisome. We'll go to the break.
For over 40 years, Jamaica and the European Union have enjoyed a partnership built on shared values and respect. Jamaica and the EU, promoting sustainable development, creating opportunities for all Jamaicans. The time is now
11 o'clock.
This is Headline News from the RJR News Center. News from across the nation, the region, and the world. Concise, accurate, and current.
Good morning. In rural headlines at this time, scores of patients were turned away this morning from the Yalas Health Center in St. Thomas due to the lack of water at the facility. RJR News understands that this is the second day that persons who showed up for service were turned away. Last Friday, persons were turned away due to the similar situation. 5 of 6 persons who were transported to hospital following a 3-vehicle collision in St. Thomas yesterday morning have been treated and released from hospital. The other person remains in hospital. It is reported that about 6 o'clock, occupants in a Toyota Corolla motor car and a Honda Civic motor car were coming from a party in Moran Bay when, on reaching a section of the Ken Jones Highway near the St. Thomas-Portland border, the driver of the Corolla lost control of his vehicle and slammed into the rear of a Honda Civic. The Honda Civic collided with a Toyota Hilux pickup. The Toyota Corolla motor car also collided with a Toyota Hilux pickup. The driver of the Toyota Corolla, who reportedly ran from the scene of the collision, later turned himself into the Golden Grove police in the company of relatives. He was warned for prosecution. Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Orlando Terry Long, is encouraging Jamaicans to be more open-minded when it comes to learning Spanish as a second language. He was responding to the comment by Charge d'Affaires at the Embassy of Spain, Victoria Garcia, that more emphasis should be placed on Spanish as a second language to increase the marketability of Jamaican students. Mr. Terry Long was addressing students during the Ministry of Education Region 4's Biennial Day of Excellence held recently in St. Thomas. That's headline news at this time. The next scheduled newscast will be...
Never gonna leave me for another.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Linkage Radio, come to rule. And we have the angle, the tackle, and we have the tool. Yeah, man, Sanchez, I keep it locked. Linkage.
For affordable immigration consultation, all paperwork, a green card, citizenship, work visas.
Control. I want to get out this. It's eternal fire.
Station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Linkage Radio, come to rule. And we have the angle, the tackle, and we have the tool. Yeah, man, Sanchez, I keep it locked. Linkage.
For affordable immigration consultation, all paperwork, a green card, citizenship, work visas, asylum waivers, naturalization, or fiancé visas, you can call Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. That's Sharon Anderson at 347-988-7782. You may also contact her at shaysims@gmail.com. That's SHAYSIMMS@gmail.com. She's an immigration consultant and she can help you through all your paperwork.
Looking for a venue with lots of amenities at reasonable cost? Well, look no further. Lux V Event Venue Rental is here to go place for all your special occasions. Conveniently and centrally located, we service the Bronx, Westchester, and NYC metro areas. Our all-white canvas features 3,200 square feet, available for your next private event. Come and host your baby showers, bridal showers, baptisms, birthday parties, conferences, christening, dinner parties, grad parties, sweet 16, repast, weddings and wedding receptions, plus much more. Book now. Dates are filling up fast. Come and see for yourself. Visit us at 58 Grammaton Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. Call or text 914-233-7881 or 631-796-7319 with inquiries. Ask about our weekend brunch hour specials at reduced cost. Lux V Events, an inspiring social experience. See you soon.
Act
fast. The world's biggest Caribbean festival, BRT Weekend in Atlantic City, New Jersey,
is almost here. Yes, the all-inclusive 3 days, 6 beach parties, BRT Weekend, July 12th through July 14th in Atlantic City is almost here. With performances by Ding Dong, Shinsia, and performing for the first time in the U.S. Squash, the Six Balls. Voice, Skinny Fabulous, Mr. Killer, Olatunji, and Vincent Ross. You and your friends need to make your vacation plans from now. It's BRT Weekend, July 12th through July 14th in Atlantic City, New Jersey, on the beach. Limited tickets and hotels available only on BRTweekend.com. That's BRTweekend.com.
Hello, I am Karith Mayer, owner and founder of the Dumpling Cove restaurant, formerly known as the Dumpling Shop. You might not know me, but I've been running this business for the past 2 decades. Over the years, we have been serving this community with the best dumplings and fried fish, and despite ups and downs, we are still dubbed the Dumpling King because no one has served more dumpling than us. In 2013, we moved to our present location, 1530 East 222nd Street, Bronx, New York. Many people ask me, why did you change the name to the Dumpling Cove? In 2000